The Pirates are acquiring, or the the Yankees are acquiring David Bednar from the Pirates.
Too quiet. It's quiet. Too quiet. It's quiet. Too quiet. It's quiet.
That's who I want. Rafael Flores. Catcher, AAA. Ten. Morosi. Let me go look at the Yankees prospects. This guy is a top 10 prospect in their organization, I guess. Number 8, they probably gave him Rock Riggio. Freddie Fermin for Kevin Burgett. He's there to catch. This happened when I was in the car. This happened when I was in the store. This happened when I was at a restaurant. This happened while I was in the car. Or I was in here. This one happened when I was in the car. This one happened when I was walking up to the fucking soldier field. This one happened while I was watching the soccer games. This one happened while it was raining in the middle of the soccer game. This one happened after the soccer game. This one happened after the soccer game. After, way after. This one happened today. Happened today. Happened today. They all happened. The ones happened today. His arm is 50. He's a 50. He's a 40 out of 80 graded prospect. He's having a down year in the power department. That's why you. Oh, yeah, by the way. Okay, we need to make a splash. None of this Kelly and cross bitch. Gore or Ryan? Please. No Ballesteros on the deal. The team had to go into a delay for it to trade to work. The Athletics got a top 3 prospect in baseball for Mason Miller. He's going to high A. Lug nuts. Where's Locklear? Oh, he's number 6. When are they going to add the draft prospects? Did they? No, he's a DSL prospect. Kemp Elderman. Legalize Kemp. Elgin Perez. 19-year-old. He's not even in the top 100 or top 10 or the top 30. I don't see. Oh, he's another catcher. He has no pop either. 45 pop or 45 power. No. They just got a catcher that has no pop. Charrington just got. How did Charrington fleece? He got two catchers who don't have pop. Brian Sanchez. I don't see him on the top 20, 30 list. He's not top 10. He's not a list. He's not. He's not. He just don't pop. He's not ranked. Trade two catchers with no pop. He's at single A. He's not ranked, is he? He's not ranked. It's not a good package. The number 8 who has no pop, the number 7, who also has no pop, and a unranked outfielding prospect. Oof. They should. They should acquire. They should acquire Danny Coulomb from the. There's no trade alert. It's not a trade.
When I switch to T-Mobile, you'll give me a new iPhone 16. Help me out with my old phone, and I'm still going to keep it. That's right. No trade. Oh, yes. Switch to T-Mobile, get a new iPhone 16 on us. No trade immediately. Pay off your old phone up to $800. Americans, we didn't do anything except one thing. We just can't stop being American. So get the switch. Tell your agents on that freedom ring and never, ever, ever stop being American.
Uh-oh.
Nothing stops America
Oh, come on. Do I have to re like that?
Start with the Padres because they also just got Freddie Fermin. You were all over how they were going to do something big. They got Mason Miller this morning. So what do you think of AJ Preller stealing the show right now?
I would say he's probably not done, and I would say there is probably more to come. Still needs a left fielder. Now,
He's done. He's not done. There's no way he gives up the freeze and Solace.
The MLB Network podcast is here. Join your favorite on-air personalities for unique perspectives, in-depth interviews, and untold stories from on and off the field. The MLB Network podcast, presented by Chevrolet, Sundays at 11:30 Eastern. Bryce Red. Thursdays, 7 Eastern, and Friday, 12:30 Eastern on MLB Network. Welcome back to our trade deadline special on MLB Tonight. We're presented by Meineke.
Now we look ahead to the trade
But starting pitching and bullpen, we talked about the Tigers had the second lowest strikeout rate. The Cubs have the lowest strikeout rate of any bullpen in baseball.
What I said. I knew it was that.
Feels like yesterday we were talking about the trade that Brekdown pulled off with the team across town. Dylan Cease in 11 minutes with top prospect headliners.
Oh, I thought that was a real trade. I was like, Jose Quintana. What the fuck? Who's Matt Rose?
So Dylan Cease is being talked about again. Here we are 8 years later, and he is firmly established as an elite major league starter, though having a really hard to explain down year statistically. The swing and miss is great. ERA is not. Wins and losses are not. Still a highly desired commodity on the trade market. Yeah, I can't believe it's been a year since that trade happened, but in the fact that now Dylan's on the precipice of free agency obviously affects the decision making for San Diego and anyone acquiring him. The positive, the upside is that this is a guy who, when you acquire him, you feel like he's going to start one of the first three postseason games for you. And if you're giving up assets this time of the year, you really want someone that you can look at and say he's going to be a factor in October. You're going to need some guys to help get you there, but this guy's of that class that he's going to help you potentially win the series. All right, so in that vein, you have identified 3 destinations for him that you think make the most sense, and let's take them down, starting from 3 and landing at number 1.
Nats are on the warpath. Nats are just getting guys.
Obviously, having Valdez and Brown thrown in front of him in a postseason series, gives you some depth that makes you fear. In the end, I think Houston winds up getting someone like this, whether it's a rental type, which is a little more affordable prospect-wise, or it's someone with more control remains to be seen. But I look for them to do something along. While the folks thought that they had the best 1-2 combination in the American League, and I consider myself among those. How about a 1-2-3 with Dylan Cease? That's really a sexy dream on our. What's the second?
The Mets.
Logical destination for Dylan Cease. Well, according to my thoughts, it's the Cubs. Back to the team that drafted him originally, developed him up to the time that we acquired him. Where he would fit in nicely along with their 2 front-end lefties right now, and show him in that form.
I don't want to walk the fucking farm, though. How many walks does he have this year?
But this is an impactful postseason starter that you can acquire probably for a lesser price given the rental status. Boy, I think that's the key takeaway, right? Where is he slotted into a postseason rotation for a
I
team?
mean, you put him at 2, and then you slide right to the pen, or
Number one, and it wasn't simply an effort to get out of this assignment, but number one on my list was the San Diego Padres. Okay, all right. Again, they have Brekdown, they had Darvish, who's been through better yesterday. They have Michael Keane coming off of an injury assignment here in the not too distant future. Just acquired Sears to help balance out that rotation. So Preller and the Padres are in an enviable position today where they have optionality. They don't have to move Dylan Cease. They can keep him, having his protection against any unfortunate events over the next 2 months. And he remains, in my opinion, a viable top 3 postseason
I
starter.
don't think you can do it without you putting Lombard, or I don't think you can do that without putting Lombard. If you were to get Bender and Alcantara, I don't think you can. They're not even rumored for.
What's this dot you're trying to connect here, John? Well, it's still a possibility. The Mets are trying to upgrade in center field, and Mullins is an obvious candidate. It's a big series against Toronto. He's playing very well lately. Obviously, he's talented. The Mets do like him. It also appears that the Mets have made little to no progress with Luis Robert to the White Sox, who may actually, as Mark Pikes had alluded to earlier, may actually keep Robert somewhat of a surprise. All right, we'll keep our
Can I hightail it over there too?
formerly switching center field. That's pretty
I'm in Chicago right now. I can just hightail it over there. Just go talk to them. Go talk to them and go talk to Jed and company at fucking Wrigley Field.
Shop online and choose from thousands of options for delivery at IKEA-USA.com.
Go talk to them.
GoodRx helps my family get the medications we need at an affordable price.
I love GoodRx because it has saved my dog's life. They'll say, here are the prices for this at this place and this place and this place. And you go pick the lowest one.
Go talk to them and tell them to move, Robert. Because
Situation where
you're not going to get a better deal than you are.
Think I like sports.
No way. The gecko was just spotted down the street.
I've always wanted to meet him. Ever since Gecko's 24/7 emergency roadside service got assigned to jam.
sounds like you got more than just sightings at my dudes.
So do we call you?
Oh, I'm just a stranger who loves friendly service and American football.
Something to drink?
Oh, yes, what's he like?
I don't remember. Didn't like.
Get more than just savings. Get more than that.
I mean, hasn't been.
Oh, he does look like a girl.
Came looking for a light beer.
A double O, the light beer with a clean, crisp finish. For anyone who expects more from light beer, a double O, the gold standard of light beer.
We are living safe dips, and over 500,000 of us have left blood thinners behind. For life, we cut our strip wrists and said goodbye to our bleeding worry with the Watchman implant. Watchman, it's one time for a lifetime.
Arthritis causes pain in your joints. Unlike pills, Voltaren gel is applied to the site of pain, penetrating deep through the skin to the joint, reducing intense pain caused by inflammation so you can move more freely. Voltaren, clinically proven, long-lasting arthritis pain. Go cut thrills with open adrenaline. Or the new John Cooper Works convertible. Let's move.
That's 3.
Tired of struggling with impossible messes in your tub and shower? Mr. Clean Foaming Bath Magic Eraser cuts through 100% of soap, scum, and grime, while Mr. Clean Extra Durable effortlessly tackles messes.
I think that's 3 players that he traded for, that he traded away.
The squad goes. Big squad.
Better in the top 100. So I gotta add.
Get big. Let's enjoy it together. Official Spirit, U.S. Soccer. Sunday, baseball coverage takes center stage on MLB's Card. Join Greg Amsater for a look at offerings cardboard. From vintage to modern, we've got it covered. MLB's Card Sunday at 1 Eastern on MLB Network.
Brady Net, Leo DeVries, and Henry Baez. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just add 4 to 12.
And we'll go over to Steve and Joel and hit you guys with a couple scenarios.
16.
Maybe you can explain for us why the wait. And we'll start with the Astros' crisis of left-handed hitting. We've heard Stephen Kwan.
Leo DeVries.
Why the wait? What's the holdup? Why no left-handed bat acquired by the Astros yet? Well, I think that
Bring Net.
he did want that left-handed bat, but I think that it comes down to the asking price in trying to negotiate this and knowing there's multiple
Nunez.
teams in there. So I think the Astros are beholden to wait for the Guardians to decide which direction they want to go.
Well, I think part is the Astros have done an awful lot to be consistently good for a decade.
And Henry Baez.
So I think it's hard for them to play, say, on the Stephen Kwan level or the high level of starting pitching. They want to do both. And I wonder if they have to, that part of the wait is, okay, we'll try, but we kind of feel like by 4:30, 5 o'clock Eastern, can we pivot and go to Ryan O'Hearn, like as a lefty bat? Can we get a secondary starting pitcher, whoever that is? Are the Dodgers really trading Dustin May in this one? Like something like that. Just as the kind of prospects that can do that, right? As opposed to a big thing.
Yeah, man, I think part of it is you want a starter and you want the left-handed bat. Then you say, okay, well, if I get this starter, then I have to get this kind of bat. If I get a lesser starter, then I get the better bat. And they get to juggling act. And they're waiting for the other teams to sort of identify where the asking price is. Okay, so let's talk about a starter. There was a wait on Mitch Keller in Pittsburgh. Now there feels like there's a freeze, and for whatever reason, they're not willing to entertain discussions on him. The Pirates aren't going to win this year, likely not going to win next year. Why the wait on trading Mitch Keller? Yeah, so interesting. So Keller under control for a couple of years, too, that contract. I think if the Pirates are ever going to win, it's going to be, they're going to have to outpitch the opposition and hope they score enough, right? They don't have the resources of the offensive players. So Keller, now you can trade him in the offseason, you can trade him next year to LA and probably get the same return. So I don't mind their waiting unless somebody really knocks their socks off.
So one of my favorite movies is Cool Hand Luke, where they go, we have a failure to communicate. I think the Pirates want to sell this guy as a number 2 starter, and I think the industry sees him more as a 4. He certainly is a guy who posts, but I think teams wonder, is he definitely one of my 3 starters in a postseason series? And if I can't say absolutely yes to that, how much am I going to give up? And the Pirates are in this position where they have to kind of get a killing if they're going to move a guy under controllable contract.
My mom sends all
time where starters don't post and perform. He posts and perform.
They're both going to be Marlins.
This is like one of those things, if you're in Pittsburgh, you're like, what do you mean? Mitch Keller's really good. But if you were sitting in a lot of these rooms, I don't know that you'd hear the same level.
Yeah, I think what they might look at, that's why the offseason might be a better time to trade, because he's a guy over 162-game season, can help you get to the postseason. But right now, he may not be a guy who pitches a postseason. Why the wait? And for this player, there is no off season of control, and that's Tyler Anderson, who's wrapping up the 3rd year of his contract with the Angels. He's been very good the last 2
Yeah,
years.
what the fuck?
Started last season, could help a pennant contender in need of starting pitching right now. Why no deal between the Angels and a suitor for Anderson? Well, part of it, the Angels just traded to add relievers, so I think they think that they're still in this race, and so that's part of it. Although they can be convinced, but on the other hand, when you have Cease and Alcantara and Kelly and Gallen still out there, he's not those guys. I think he's looked at in that next tier of pitchers, so maybe he's a fallback, but at that point,
And Gore.
I don't think they're in it. I don't even know if they offer him up.
Right. I think that there's a lot of general managers, unless your owner is saying to you, you must get the money off the books. they'd be like, well, I don't want to do it just to do it, to say I made it.
Yeah, you can't trade just to trade.
The Angels want to take whatever
Oh,
1 to 3%
notification.
chance they have to be a wild card this year.
Ken Rosenthal.
Tyler Anderson would be part of that. Now, if they got something they feel
Robert and Stephen Kwan. You don't think either of those, just in the same topic?
I didn't mention Quan, and yes, he is someone who is very much in demand right now. Dodgers, Padres, a number of other teams. Blue Jays have checked in there as well. I don't know that he will be moved only because Cleveland sets the bar.
John Morosi is better than Ken Rosenthal. That's what I say. Because he landed fireworks.
Involved acquiring a role player. Cody Ross was huge in 2010 when he went to the Giants. Huge postseason performer. Marco Scudero, same when he went to the Giants in 2012. A role player, a platoon guy in Oakland and other destinations. How about when Brandon Guyer went to Cleveland in 2016? He was a perfect platoon option coming up.
Yeah, not the fact that when he dropped the ball, it was hilarious. He dropped the ball in the outfield.
Star-studded roster, and the additions of role players really defined the 2021 Braves. Jorge Soler, Jock Peterson, Eddie Rosario, and Adam Duvall, all considered role players, all huge in the postseason World Series in particular. Harrison Bader, 2022 to the Yankees. He was traded again today and might make a difference as a guy who has excelled in the postseason. And finally, a great example, maybe the best, and again, recency bias here, Tommy Edman.
That was the best trade of last last deadline. Screw the Tanner Scott trade. That trade was crazy. Should I say?
Yeah, just like that timeline with Tommy Edman, I think Brenton Donovan is one of those guys. It's like a 2.0 of Tommy Edman. You know, he's a Gold Glover, he's an All-Star.
He's not getting. He's not getting moved.
He's entering his first year of arbitration. I think this is a guy that will be a leadoff for really good teams, many postseason teams. Why not go get a guy like this and Brendan Donovan? He can hit, he can play defense. He's that glue player, that guy that just makes everybody better. I really like Brendan Donovan. I like that ball too. I love Donnie.
Anonymous. Well, Rafael Flores ain't much, but at least he's not a middle infielder with a 550 OPS. What a garbage return.
He gets left-handers too. Remember the right side of the box, switch in, does damage for left-handers, which is what we're looking for. Okay, Rick, get back in his GM chair. Who are you going to acquire to get over the top? Well, first of all, I'm going to complain that Jeff Blum in 2005 didn't make the cut. Jordan, 23, we're all fan. I wasn't part of that. I'm going with Tommy Pham, a guy who tends to be traded every year around this time, plays a role on the postseason team.
Dude, Ryan O'Hearn, that would be a fumble. That would be a fumble if they don't trade Ryan O'Hearn. If I see him tomorrow, that would be a fumble. If I see him in the lineup at first base tomorrow and I go to the Cubs game, that would be a fumble, but the asking price has to come down. He's a free agent.
Again, for him, it comes down to health. He's looking a lot more when he's on the field, like the guy who was putting up 5 WAR for us back in 19 or so. As long as they're willing to move him, I'd be knocking on their door. Yeah, and that's all an if game. We're playing a lot of speculation games, as we will do with an all-star here. And apparently, Jake was talking about how the Texas Rangers told him, Bruce Bochy told him, Jake, we're going to make a move and we're going to make a run. Well, if this move is made, because you're talking about an all-star DH and Ryan O'Hearn, then boy, oh boy, the rest of the AL West is on notice. Let's go to JP Morosi. Is there actual stuff going on here, or is this just smoke?
Well, they are talking, Matt.
Cedric Mullins
Some conversation between
to the Mets.
and the Rangers about that all-star DH. I've been saying all day.
Baltimore is
Ryan O'Hearn is going to get traded. And in the words of Major League Baseball insider Tom Petty, I won't back down. He is going to get
Cedric the Entertainer will not be in the lineup tomorrow versus the Cubs because he has been traded for to the Mets.
So you wonder if he goes to Texas, gets comfortable back home, maybe he finds a way to stay there and sign for 2026 as well. So I think there's a lot of near-term and potential long-term benefit for the Rangers if they can find a way to strike a deal with the Orioles.
Yep, Cedric full fucking Mullins.
Still be involved with O'Hearn. Now, on the pitching side of things, another expiring contract. Merrill Kelly. I was told in the last 24 hours the Red Sox and D-backs have stayed in touch on a potential move for Merrill Kelly from the desert to Fenway Park. You know, the Red Sox want to find a way, Matt, to add a little more reliability to their rotation. And here is where the Garrett Crochet move, which Rick knows Garrett very well, the Crochet move from last offseason renders a certain benefit now because given the fact that you've got Crochet to start game one, you can focus your search for pitching more on a game two or a game three or a game four, where certainly Merrill Kelly, you'd be very comfortable with him. He's pitched in the World Series before. He pitched as well in the World Baseball Classic, Matt, and it's only 340 for my first WBC reference today. So Merrill Kelly could be certainly on the move at some point in Fenway, one of those potential destinations.
He got it in there. He got it in there. He got it WWC trade deadline show. We have a trade alert. Here we go. Confirmation of what John Heyman indicated just a moment ago. Anthony DiComo sending this out. Mets are acquiring Cedric Mullins from the Orioles, and Mark Feinsand, I'm told, has a little bit more on this. This is a big one, Mark.
It is. The Mets are looking for an upgrade in center field. Luis Robert was on their radar. As I discussed earlier, the asking price of Robert's been a little high, and quite match up with the White Sox. They turned to Mullins. The Orioles still have a number of free agent speeds ready to trade, but Ryan O'Hearn, who's gotten some interest from a couple of teams around the league, for sure, the asking price on paper, from what I'm told a few minutes ago, is still pretty high. So with 2 hours and 19 minutes left, we'll have to see if that price tag comes down. But they have moved on to the Mets as our buddy Anthony come on that.
All right, Mark, thank you. Here's a little bit more context. These are the players going back to Baltimore. I am not going to feign familiarity with any of them. 3 young dudes going back to the Birds in exchange for a really good center fielder with pop. Two Jordan. I think if, and to take us into a big picture discussion on the Mets,
They're all pitchers, I'm assuming.
a sneaky good deadline. I think you can say the same thing about the Mets. Certainly with this acquisition, this solves the problem.
Yeah, it solves the problem big time. This guy can go get it. He can help out Soto in right field as well. You know, I like this move. He's had a great year with Baltimore. Obviously, I think everybody knew he was going to get a move just a couple weeks ago. You see the numbers right here, 15 home runs with 49 yards. My biggest storyline here is, you know, the Mets were considering a guy like Robert. This doesn't make any sense, man. Like, with Robert being still out there and being so expensive, like, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, you're not going to win next year. You're not going to win the next perhaps couple of years. You're going to give this dude $20 million next year for what? You're going to call another team that's going to make the postseason.
Yeah, I still expect Luis Robert to be moved in some of what I'm hearing on my front. But look, the New York Mets have had an incredible run here. The last few days, they just got swept in San Diego, but yesterday wasn't a complete sweep because they won the trade deadline yesterday and arguably doing it again with Cedric Mullins. This guy is motivated.
James out, baby.
Part of some nice teams around.
Rock Riggio, no. Rock Riggio's going to fucking team, no.
Games got shorter with the bullpen additions.
What?
They needed bullpen, they needed center field. They went out and addressed everything in a good way.
We're going to check out the box for Rick Hahn when we come back. And we should get Phillips involved in this too, because as former Major League general managers, the criticism flies around on social media. We're going to give former GMs a chance to critique you, the fan, in some of your trading suggestions. A little something we call trading places. Get ready for this. Here we go.
It starts with selflessness. Feel what people good about it. They need it. I'm training for life. From after school pickups to meal prep to a 12-hour night shift. I don't have time to give away. How about escape?
Down patrol starts with a Celsius. I got home daily sleep. First it's cardio, then it's a race against the clock. Fuel. I've got 48 to do in 24.
It's 4:49 a.m. Robert Celsius, lockdown. I've got a golden gold tea pack. For you to be the lifeblood to all the essential energy I need to do. There's an EV for each side of you. The Kia EV9 and EV6, assembled with pride in Georgia. Kia, movement that inspires. For over a century, Frigidaire has cared to perform. We've maximized space from the 35 packs of groceries.
You gave up Rock Riggio for.
Dare to expect Frigidaire.
What's this? Yeah, no, thank you.
I ran the numbers on Quicket. It's totally in their budget.
Allowance for thing on. That's
Yes, all my income and spending. Even though this is my budget, still teach you to save more.
this is amazing.
I know. It is.
Do more with your money. Hi.
My favorite name, number 10 and 28. Seriously?
HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own, but for others, it can cause certain cancers later. Now, as the dad cab, it's my key to help protect them.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in minutes. Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. When I switch to T-Mobile, they'll give me a new iPhone 16. Help me out my old phone and struggle to keep it.
That's right. No trade. Oh, yes. Switch to T-Mobile and a new iPhone 16 on us. No trade immediately and pay off your old phone up to $800.
Today's no book is full of so much more than food. The whole dreams and hope for children. This week, they'll make a $5 donation to get a $5 bucket plus 20% off almost anything. It's entire. Turn up the heat with Forest Land starting at $6.99 a day. Or get even more with Super Slide for under $10. Full meals for everyone this summer. All part of Forest Land starting at $6.99, never over 10. Find your way to dance. Start your engines. Be a part of history as baseball roars in the festival for the MLB Speedway Classic. An extraordinary one-time event where speed is speedified opinions. Fire. Join MLB at work tracks before and after the big game. As the Braves rise from the thousand MLB baseball's biggest summer spectacle. The MLB Speedway Classic. Presented by Bill Submarines.com. Live coverage begins Friday, August 1st.
Welcome back to our trade deadline special on MLB Tonight, presented by Meineke. We've been after the commercial for 2 minutes, and we this one. Here it is. This moments ago, Jack Curry of Yes Network sending this out. Right-hander Jake Bird acquired by the Yankees from the Colorado Rockies. They are very serious about building up that bullpen, which has been a real problem the last month. Mark Feinstein has a little bit more on this one, Mark.
Yeah, so the Yankees are sending second baseman Rock Riggio and left-hander Ben Shields. They're number 10 and number 28 prospects over to Colorado. Bird is not a hard thrower like a couple of other guys that the Rockies have been shopping, Halverson, Victor Bodnick. But they're very effective this year. It's a lot of ground balls and uses a lot of weak contact. And so the Yankees had a real hard thrower, strikeout, and soft contact ground ball guy Bird. A couple of different looks coming into their bullpen, but like you said, this was focus of theirs coming into the day, and to this point, Brian Gack has accomplished a lot of his goals.
And still over 2 hours left to try to acquire more bullpen depth for catching the Yankees. Okay, Mark, thank you. Now it's that opportunity that we've been looking forward to on behalf of Rick Hahn. Here we go. We put this up on our socials. Send us your best blockbuster trade proposal, and Rick Hahn will grade them. Instead of being graded, Rick, we're going to give you a chance to grade our fans. Wow. Let's check out that first response we got here, or at least the first one we thought build-worthy. Quan, this is a fan, and the name of the fan is Stephen Quan. Appreciate it. Quan, the Dodgers for Dalton Rushing to Paul and Freeland. Wow. That's hefty. That is hefty. That is a hefty price. I got to say, and Yonder and I talked about this yesterday, if you would ask me the most impactful player that moves at the deadline, I would have said Stephen Kwan, and I would have said the Dodgers, yeah. Now, do they pay that steep of a price for him? Yeah. I doubt it. I doubt it at the end of the day, but as a Stephen Kwan appreciator like me, I think Bat Boy Meets World 89 is not too far off the pace. Look, I love Russian, but I like the player. You also look at Russian with a really good backstopper in the follow, what he did at the Futures game. Yeah. What absolute. That's deep. Yeah. Let's get another one up there for us to critique. This one, Yankees get Sandy Alcantara and Marlins get Jason Dominguez and JC Estrada. Whoa. I think it's just prospect fatigue.
What in the world?
Done that what people hope they would do right out of the gates, and therefore let's ship them off. That's too much. That's too much for me here. Last one more. How about Mackenzie Gore going to the Cubs for Owen Cassidy, Jackson Wiggins?
No. Cut it off.
Like Mackenzie to the airport. That's a pretty good one. That's steep. I don't think it comes to too much. Oh, we got Hinsky, one of the best offensive guys. By the way, these are all fan suggestions. I don't want anybody going to social media saying they saw it on MLB Network that Mackenzie Gore's one of the Cubs. That's not my boy. Not yet. It is. Still might happen between now and then. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. One last segment before Greg, Harold, and Dan take over. They've got the last 2 hours before the deadline. We've seen some impactful stuff the last 3 hours or so. Big day for the Padres. Yankees and Mets both beefing up the bullpens. Phillies too. Our final thought to the next group. So sit down. Next.
MLB Today is presented by Mindful. Doing car care.
At Mindful, brakes, tires, oil, engines, alternators, head gaskets, bumper pots, service box, triple D's, only Yeti brakes. I don't know that much about cars. I only touch my key with my key.
Well, I was expecting. Yeah, we need to get them settled into college. Shop online and choose 1,000 of pickup options for delivery at IKEA-USA.com.
The Brewbot is the world's first and only automatic brew fluid. The computer generates a randomized pattern with each of the 3 rushes, ensuring full temperature brew. Keep moving every proof. The Brewbot works with hot or cold grills, so you can use it before or after you grill. Check out the Brewbot, available in brand.
That deal is.
This free for 60 days with a no question task satisfaction guarantee. Visit grillbox.com today.
No.
When I look for a contractor, it's someone who is reliable and skillful.
That's where Angie comes in. With top-rated 500 categories, Angie can connect you with a right pro for any home project. Find top-rated pros in your area at Angie.com.
Heartburn makes it fuzzy. Get fast relief with Thomas Plus, Ultra Summit, and Notice. And
Did you know there's great potential number ones in pitching right now? Best base for the team, top three defense, it'll be a tough out in tournament baseball. And with MLB now on MLB Network. That's a sound with here's praise MLB Network's Monday Night Baseball at 7:30 Eastern. We live the biggest plays from every game with that beat over on Quick Fish, late nights and early mornings, MLB Network. Welcome back. Been a busy day. These are the deals that were consummated when we went on the air at 1 p.m. Eastern. Harrison Bader from Minnesota to Philly. The Padres get some catching depth. David Bednar to the Yankees. Club set now starting in Flushing, Queens. Jake Bird goes to the Yankees and Brock Stewart to the Dodgers. Some would say the rich get richer. I think that's probably accurate. The team of the day and story of the day, Mason Miller going to the San Diego Padres. AJ Preller doing it again, a blockbuster. They get the lights out closer. Who knows what role they'll occupy moving forward. Greg Amsinger, Tom Brady, and Harold Reynolds are going to talk a lot about this. And before we go, I would say that the Padres have been the team that we've talked about the most today. Is that fair? Yes, it is because they moved a guy that, as Joel put, quarter zip nation doesn't like to move from the number 3 prospect in baseball.
How do quarter zips become casualty in this discussion, by the way?
It's not fair. As a proud representative of quarter zip nation, I think these are the ones that guys. They change the words on it. Impactful moves. They still, as we talked about earlier, optionality. They can make more going forward. Or they can go to war with a very deep, talented roster if they stay put.
Look at this bullpen.
don't let it surprise you when there's some monster moves. And Suarez and Dylan Cease get moved. I know that we haven't talked much about that since coming on, but that's still out there as an option. I'd be shocked if they don't end up with a left fielder. My hat's off to the Mets, to the Phillies, to the Yankees. Yeah, all the above. I think when we look at the Padres, they have some needs. So far, they're taking care of it. They've got, one more hour to go until the deadline, 2 more hours to go until the deadline. I also don't think that just the Padres are done. I think there's going to be an abundance of trades. So hang on for your seatbelt. It's going to get
If the Red Sox trade Jared Duran, Tommy from Quincy is going to go on a hunger strike.
Ha!
It starts with self-discipline. You know, what you feel good about. I'm training for life. From after school pickups to meal prep to a 12-hour night shift. I don't have time to get away. I've got to stay.
The uphill starts with a Celsius. I got bodega sleep. First it's cardio, then it's a race against the clock. Refuel. I've got 48 to do in 24.
It's 4:49 from Coaching Market. I've got an older man. Ready to the line up to all the essential energy I need.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for everybody? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love. Price the cable can. Start watching at HuluTV.com.
GoodRx helps my family get the medications we need at an affordable price. I did have insurance, but unfortunately they didn't cover
the medications that my doctor prescribed.
My mom introduced me to GoodRx, and I've been using it ever since. All I do is put in one search for, and it shows each location and each price.
The first time I used GoodRx, I saved over $700.
I literally tell everyone I know to check GoodRx.
Today's work is held so much more than usual. They hold dreams and hope for children. This weekend, they have $5 donation to get a 5-pound bucket to 20% of almost anything that's inside. Basically, so helpful hardware.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want whiter teeth, they have to make a choice, one versus the other. Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth as well as providing 24/7 sensitivity protection. Patients are going to love to see Sensodyne on the shelf.
Lima Luno at your service. I'm here to help you save hundreds by customizing your car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Probably should have done the other way. Only pay for cheap.
When I switch to T-Mobile, they'll give me a new iPhone 16. Help pay off my old phone. And there's something to keep it.
Switch to T-Mobile and a new iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your old phone up to $800.
Untap, good mojo. AI, Google Cloud Notes, 125 hitters tap home plate last year's postseason. Those who tap twice or more had over 30%, the same as those who tap once. But surprisingly, it was the non-tap which led to untapped 7% more audience. Yeah, that really hits home. Catch the game like never before with AI from Google Cloud.
SoFi's helping me get 20 racks to achieve my ambitions. Plus, investing in my game. SoFi can help fund all your ambitions. No matter how ambitious, save with SoFi to score a higher APY than it has lower. Save on the things to be. In the Preston Division Speedway Classic, enjoy MLB Network before and after the big game. Fast and Furious is ready for the MLB Speedway Classic on August 1st.
Great deadline day is
You're taking opportunity and running.
It's a right time.
Somebody's about that can help it off. They're going to give you the Bible. He gives them that. And this and that. Why did they say that? Keep our hands good to the Reds. So you're welcome to the mess. The Brewers are against the Phillies and we've got the Reds. Joshua got shit to swap. Welcome everyone to MLB Tonight, presented by Meineke, our trade deadline special. Let the games begin. Let the trades begin. They've been everywhere. So much action. We're 2 hours away from the 6 p.m. Eastern deadline pass. It's Greg Ames here, live in Studio 3, our old stopping grounds. Throwback. Greg with Harold. We got Tom Verducci in now.
Tom, you know what I love about working with Greg? Nothing matters until he shows up. Like, now let's start the game. Come on. Oh, no. I've missed some great moves already, and I still think they're and it's been weird. What? Some teams are making moves you kind of like it down. So we'll have to wait and see how it ends up turning out. Yeah, he's our closer, right? I know. Why has this market been anything but?
It's all breaking, right?
Relief pitching.
Breaking, not racking.
Baseball right now. The prices are astronomical, and teams can't wait to pay the price.
It's so true, man. And relievers that don't have a ton of track record are still getting a hefty ransom for their services. We're going to catch up on all the trades that have taken place on this day. But first, I want to set the stage, Tyler. The major storylines going into the last 2 hours before the deadline. Give me 2 important storylines for you.
Okay, 2 things that have to happen here. Merrill Kelly has to be traded.
you think the starting pitching market in general hasn't really developed, but it's a rush for relief pitching? Merrill Kelly, to me, is the best option because he's plug and play. Some of these other pitchers, great track records, are not throwing the ball well right now. I want a guy to be dropping in who's hot. And we've seen him postseason improvement down the stretch of 23. He was awesome for Arizona. He will get traded. My other thing to watch the next 2 hours. Hello, LA Dodgers. You're on the clock. I've been looking around to see what the Mets, the Phillies, and the Padres, 3 teams in their way, as far as defending the NL pennant, have done with their bullpens. And the Dodgers so far crickets other than Brock Stewart, which is nice, but we're not talking earth-shattering like those other teams did. Well, I can tell you Stewart. What do you got? I got 2 things stand out to me. One, Romero. The moves they made are impressive. What's held them back? No offense. And that pitching. I'm telling you, getting Naylor and getting Gino back is big. Are they done? No, they're not done. I think they still got some things to do. But that gives you four. You got Cal. Julio's getting to play the second half like Julio. You got Gino, and you got Naylor when they go to rain up. You got those 4 guys that you and is every team is in play. Every team. You might be bottom feeding right now, but you have players that people are picking. Look at the Yankees. You got 2.
Correa or the debunk.
They got 10 wins. All right. I mean, everybody's in play, and that's what I think is cool about the trade deadline. I have two headlines at the Chicago Cubs on the clock. The Chicago Cubs are good.
Here it is.
They're not good enough to knock out the Los Angeles Dodgers. They have to improve their starting rotation. It's really the year, and then we'll never fix that. Mike Soroka is not the answer. Not to be what they want to be.
He's going home. He's going home. He's going home.
And they need to capitalize. They need a closer be the worst way. I thought Ryan Kelsey was the perfect fit for the Texas Rangers. He goes to the New York Mets. He probably was supposed to be in the New York Mets. I don't know what's going on in their trade right now, but the Texas
He's coming home.
future Hall of Fame manager Bruce Bochy have to consider themselves all in. Okay, so let me ask you this. In yesteryear, you knew you were going to get a David somebody taking fortunes right now. Is there a play in the full that we're seeing the last day or two that changed the team's fortunes? Yeah. If it comes to Joe Ryan, I'm all in the Chicago Cubs and Joe Ryan's a good coach. If the Texas Rangers make a trade for Robert Suarez, who I still think is going to get traded, and that's why they acquired Mason Miller. If you go get Robert Suarez and you put him back in the Texas Rangers bullpen, I'm looking at the Texas Rangers as a team that can fight. Do you agree with that? I think the Rangers still have a move to make. You know, losing Chris Martin was big. I think they need off of that bullpen. I think they probably Stephen Kwan is that one name that's out there to me that can be a difference maker. I think he'd be a great fit in San Diego. I don't think San Diego's done by any means. I think he goes out with that. Dodgers are the next year. I think that's the one name. We talk about impact names. I'm not sure there's Ricky Henderson or David Combs. Yeah, I don't see serious for you, but the impact that's left. It's interesting though that the Padres didn't want to give up DeGrees, their top prospect, for Stephen Kwan, who's a 600 at bat, everyday player, all-star, but they're willing to do it right now. What would do 60 innings? This is massive breaking news. Brian McTaggart with this. The Astros agreed to deal to reacquire Carlos Correa in a trade to the Minnesota Twins. John Heyman, one of our many insiders working the phones right now. John, this is a massive trade. What can you tell me?
Yeah, absolutely. When Bob Nightingale suggested this was a possibility a day or so ago, I think few believed it, and it's like it is coming to fruition. They are finalizing the deal. Correa is on board with going back to Houston, where he starred. Obviously, won World Series there. They love him. He loves it. He loved it in Minnesota, frankly, and they liked him very much too. But this is the one team that he was going to prove to. Obviously, the finances were something to work out. Apparently, they are working them out as we speak, and it will be a deal. Correa will go back to Houston. Obviously, they lost Paredes to injury, down for a couple of months. That's a big blow, but he's going to have to play third base because obviously Jeremy Payne, an all-star shortstop, is their shortstop now, and obviously Correa is a terrific defender.
He's injured.
He can be good at third. He was willing to do it. in free agency for the Mets, and apparently willing to do it again for his old team in Houston.
Now, what is Carlos Correa's contract? I mean, this is not a rental player, correct?
Right.
So he's got 3 more years. As you look at the roster, Paredes may be out the rest of this year, but you have Christian Walker at first base. But Pena's going to come back and be your shortstop. But the free agency is coming up right now. So maybe Correa, I guess, could be the long-term answer at shortstop. And I'm trying to think about this, John, beyond just the 2025 season. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, Pena's not a free agent, so he's still going to be the shortstop next year. He was close to a deal before changed agents recently, but he will likely become a free agent at some point. And Houston has trouble holding on to their great free agents, but apparently they like to bring some of them back, and they're going to bring Correa back. It's quite something. Correa is a terrific defender, can play third. It's a little surprising. We'll see how the finances work out here, but Houston is a go-for team. Obviously, they lost Bregman, they lost Tucker, they previously lost Correa, and they are still in first place. They do a terrific job, and I give them credit. And they've tried several other things as well, but this is the one that works. Correa wants to be there, and it's good for the Twins because they had a little bit of a money situation there as well.
Huge trade. John Hayden, thank you. Carlos Correa traded from the Twins back to the Houston Astros. Just from contract perspectives, Pena's got 2 more years. Isak Paredes has 2 more years. But I do remember Jeremy Pena's extension talks were tabled. If you remember that.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that moment in time impacts this move. Because Paredes, they love. He's going to be back in the fold. We got Yordan Alvarez. You got Christian Walker's in the fold. This is 3 more years at $92 million for Carlos Correa.
And he's not playing for 92 million. I'm not convinced he's going to say, "Oh, okay, I'll go put third." He's an alpha male who can still play short. They got a problem. They just do.
He not for this year.
I'm telling you, even this year.
If Pena comes back before Paredes, he's playing third base. And he had a no trade clause, so they must be okay with playing third base, even on a short-term basis.
That's what we're here. I'm just saying, there's more to this dynamic, I think. Because who did he train at short? He trained Pena coming along after him. Carlos Correa is not going to go on.
Pena is a Gold Glove shortstop.
I get it. But Carlos Correa, he thinks himself way higher than that. I just can't see him saying, "Okay, yeah."
He's doing this for all the right reasons.
Well, bottom line, they'll find a way to make this work. This is one of the great postseason players of our generation.
Absolutely.
Now, in a perfect world, the Astros wanted a left-handed bat. This is a heavily right-handed hitting team, but this is a premier right-handed.
I just feel like he's such a leader. He had not been gone that long, and I don't know. We'll see. It's a great acquisition, and you can talk about next year all you want, but I still think that factors into right now. And if I'm Pena, I gotta seriously go, what are we doing here, guys? We do. You have a conversation. That's serious.
On the other side of this, put over Steve and Joel Sherman. Byron Bucks is like, "Hey, I want to be with the Twins. I'd love it here. No trade clause. I'm going anywhere." Does this change the way Byron Buxton looks at it?
It obviously did for Carlos Correa, right? Things have changed a lot in Minnesota. They thought they had a contending team. They're a big-time seller right now, team for sale. The stability of the franchise now is in question. So, yeah, if you're a different player, you start looking elsewhere where the grass might be greener.
Wow. The difference, though, Buxton's a twin. Drafted, developed, came through. This is his organization. Carlos Correa wasn't a twin. He's an Astro. And so,
yeah, but Buxton is committed to this team in the direction.
Yeah, but Greg, that's my point. He is committed to the Twins, whatever direction we're going. And this is the first time he's committed. I said, I don't want to be traded. When every contending team in baseball would have loved that Byron Buxton. You tell me the Mets would have him? Tell me the Yankees would have him? You tell me the Dodgers wouldn't get him?
All that can happen. We've got an hour and 45 minutes to go. Anything can happen. Hey, Steve Phelps, Joel Sherman. I want you to weigh in here.
Steve, I'm talking about
Correa traded back to the Houston Astros. What do you think? Yeah, so here's the thing. I had a conversation 2 spring trainings ago. On my spring training tour with Sirius MLB Radio, I go into Twins camp. And Carlos Correa pulled his side of the dugout. He said, "You're a baseball guy. I want to get your opinion about this. How about, do you think a guy like me might be better served being a third baseman
where my offense can play and I get off of shortstop, I can focus on that. Because remember the World Baseball Classic? Francisco Lindor played shortstop, Correa played third, and Correa ranked in the WBC. And he was talking about Brooks Lee maybe becoming the shortstop there in Minnesota. I actually think that Carlos Correa welcomes the notion of going to third base because he thinks it's going to help his offensive game, and I think he'll accept that move, I think, pretty readily. I know he will accept the move. He signed a contract 3 years ago with the Mets to play third base next to Francisco Lindor for 11 years, and then he failed to visit them. So I know in the right situation, and I'm sure he loves Jeremy Pena. He probably helped train him. At this point, he knows he could get off his feet. And I understand why Carlos Correa, while in Minnesota, has to say, I never want to leave.
We need to get the big starter.
Carlos Correa wants to win championships and to make a late run at
Nah.
He's a big.
No, I don't want Casey.
He's not going to get that shot in Minnesota. The owner in Houston loves him. Jim Creedy tried to keep him. So my thought is to protect his legs. He's going to move to third base. I know he will play third.
They're not going to. They're going to do something.
Baseball IQ to be able to do what he does. Minnesota, they love him there, but this chance to go back home in Houston, a major move by the Astros.
Yeah, Steve, the Astros had to do something with the injury he saw Paredes. John Wilkes put this up as Correa has agreed to play third base in Houston. The source confirmed. Yeah, this is a guy that probably wouldn't do this, switch positions, unless it was a perfect situation. This looks like the perfect situation for Carlos Correa.
It does, Greg, and that is the big news that for now, to begin this second chapter of Correa playing in Houston, he will begin playing at third base. And a lot of it is the context of the roster as we speak right now. We know Paredes out for the season, Pena on the injured list. This is what is needed right now. And remember, the Astros also acquired Urias that was give them some additional flexibility on the input. They need healthy position players. And also, to Joel's point earlier, it is the likely best case for Correa's future development to move to a corner for the reasons that Steve mentioned as well. I certainly understand the idea and the desire for him to play shortstop at the outset of his career, but it's a very different circumstance right now. And it's my understanding that as a condition of this trade happening at all, that Correa had to give his word to the parties involved. Yes, I will play third base. My information right now is that he has given that assent and affirmation. He will be the third baseman of the Astros, and he will get quite an ovation when he steps back to the plate at Beckett Park.
I guess the question is, will he be the shortstop immediately? Because Pena is out, so he's not going to go play any shortstop.
My understanding is he'll play third base. That is what I've been told. Again, the lineup card belongs to Joe Espada, but what I was told is that he has agreed to play third base. And when you think about it, Greg, it certainly behooves everybody here for him to get comfortable at the position that's going to be his long-term position in Houston. They have Dubon, who can.
I think you need to chill out. We are fine.
Remember, too, with Paredes, they could potentially move him to second base next week and have to play the outfield. Well, those are 2026 questions.
It just randomly just.
2025, and in 2025, Carlos Correa said he'll play third base for the Houston Astros.
I mean, this is how you start the show. Wow. Incredible. John Morosi, thank you. A major trade in our A block. We know it's kind of behind the team. Kirby, the fan can't ask for better thing. Hey, we come back on Fox and tell us that the Houston Astros are not done. Yeah, they go get Carlos Correa, but more moves ahead. That is next.
MLB Tonight is presented by Mindfade. Do it car hair right.
Yeah, I knew that. Oh, Michael Schwab says the ad, the
When I switch to T-Mobile, they'll give me a new iPhone 16, help me out my old phone, and I still get to keep it.
yeah, that's true.
If the peanut butter in a Reese's could talk to the chocolate.
Yes, Craig Mish retweeted it. No.
Breathe out.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want whiter teeth, they have to make a choice, one versus the other. Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth as well as
Kelly Alcantara sees Quan.
Made to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. So you can lose some sweat and serve and harvest. Native is made with 9 clean ingredients and is good for your skin without leaving white marks or residue. 72-hour odor protection that cares for skin isn't a myth.
Sirius XM's the leadout spot is now on MLB Network. Join Steve Phillips and former MLB players Xavier Squads and Mario Perez for a recap of the night's action, preview of the day ahead, plus in-depth baseball interviews, weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network.
The journey. It starts here. On the fields where dreams begin. Every swing counts.
He wasn't going to no Jays.
Every moment inspires. The fundamentals today, the possibilities of tomorrow. Pitch, hit, and run. The journey starts here. Scan the QR code to sign up today.
Your daily baseball starts with MLB Central. Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns, interviews with the players, and a little bit of everything else. The baseball day begins with MLB Central. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network.
Sundays, baseball cards take center stage on MLB's Carded. Join Greg Amster for a look at offense cardboard. From vintage to modern, we've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 1 Eastern on MLB Network.
And welcome back to MLB Tonight, our trade deadline special presented by Heineken. The Houston Astros select Carlos Correa.
Now here's Carlos Correa making his big league debut.
Yeah, this trumps the Mason Miller trade. Carlos Correa pulls his no trade clause to go back to the Houston Astros. The Twins trade Correa to the Stros, and Carlos Correa is going to switch positions and play third base.
Right, I get to ask you and Tom, is there a player that will impact this lackadaisical coming over here? This is the guy,
Carlos Correa.
on cue headline player that can impact the postseason.
Stealing all the headlines here. Trade deadline day. Mark Feinsand is joining us now. The Astros just made another move. Mark.
They have. They didn't get the lefty bat they were looking for with Correa, but they did get it with Jesus Sanchez. They traded Ryan Gusto, pitcher, to the Marlins.
Talk about putting a nuke on your whole entire team.
So he can play for positions, he can DH, and they're looking for a lefty bat that line they're going to be heavy, and just moments after they field, they acquire Jesus.
It's not quiet. It's not too quiet. The Nats and Cubs are too quiet. They're probably working on the deal.
Jesus Sanchez traded the Marlins to the Astros moments after the Astros reacquired Carlos Correa. Mark Feinsand, thank you. I want to go to John Heyman now. So are the Astros done? Correa, Sanchez, any more moves you're done?
No, they're not done. They're looking at the best starting pitchers out there, and that includes Cease, Merrill Kelly, and Alcantara. All three of them they are looking at.
What is this going to be like a fucking Zach Greinke to the Astros thing? Yes, there is.
Houston
Oh.
is still working on a lot of stuff. Love it, John. Thank you. And you know, I like seeing these American League teams all in. Mariners are all in, right? The Astros clearly are all in. Why? The American League is wide open, Tom. It is a moment to strike, and I think the Toronto Blue Jays are on the clock right now. They have to be paying attention to this, and this is their moment. They got to step up right now.
Well, you're right. It's wide open, but they also see the Mariners are breathing down their necks. I look at what the Mariners have done right now. They've had as good of a deadline as anybody. That's a World Series team on paper right now, the Seattle Mariners. So just to win the division is no lock for Houston. Sanchez, I said going in, the Astros had to get a left-handed bat. They're just way too right-handed. This was the answer. Maybe not a big bat, but he got a ton of strikeout rate this year. OPS against right-handed pitching is over 800. That was a good pickup for Houston, a necessary one.
You know, I'm thinking, I see what you said, even with the correct move, and that's it. Is you're making moves long term. It's not just for this. We got breaking news. Jeff Bassett with this. Danny Coulomb, who's been unbelievable. In the bullpen, Minnesota Twins, a left-handed reliever, 1.16 ERA. ERA of 1.16. So the guys are just like, no. I mean, expect Billy Castro's going to have to get moved. I'm sure Joe Ryan might go down to the wire. It's going to be a hefty price tag to get him. And again, you're shaking your head going the way Byron Buxton came out and said, I'm a Twin for life. But all of these moves might change the way he views.
Astros are working hard to acquire Dylan Cease from the Padres. No communication. Then don't say anything, you fucking idiot.
If the Dodgers come knocking, gotta go. I'm out. That's a personal choice. He talked that a lot. So if it's real offense from Jordan, obviously, but the other game, he's like, Minnesota at home. We love it. We love it. That's a personal choice. But shit, you're absolutely right back at the truck in Minnesota. They're lucky in a way that they were not alone. They had to do what they were, right? A lot of teams get caught. Are we in? Are we out? They were out. They knew it, and they responded accordingly. Okay, so Danny Coulomb, a great season, no doubt. Does it change the way you look at the Texas Rangers?
He can pitch a lot. He can just throw that curveball time and time again. He's tough to hit. I like this. He can get right-handers out with his breaking stuff. I'm not sure they're done, Greg. Because let's face it, they need a closer, do they not? He's not the closer. That bullpen's been okay, but I agree. Again, getting back to Chris Long, a big injury to them. I don't know when he's getting back. It's been a while. But yes, it could always use one. I don't think they're playing at the top of the market, though. As we see, the top of the market guys are pretty much all gotten anyway. But I wouldn't suspect they're done. No, but this is a really good pickup. They'll undersell how good Coulomb has been this year.
They won the World Series with Leclerc closing games at the end. Yeah, proving that you can do it without a big
smart. You can match their.
But they did have Rose Chapman that season. They paid a hefty price to get it in gold ratings. Do you remember that? No doubt. Well, so maybe they got buyer's remorse from that one particular move over. No, they want a world reliever. He won the World Series, but he wasn't the marquee reliever that got you to win the World Series. Yeah, but in their eyes, they don't win it without it. You really think so? Yeah. You don't think they regret King of Cole? I'm sure that there is, but you won a World Series. What are we in for? Prospects or win a World Series? I'm just wondering, because we're only 2 years removed from that decision by Christian.
Jed Hoyer's probably. Jed Hoyer is probably not sleeping. He's not. He's not sleeping. He's.
They sit there and they get more realistic. Okay, are these moves real? Are these players really what we need to give up?
San Diego Padres are acquiring Ryan O'Hearn from the Baltimore Orioles. There you go.
So anybody said Padres wants to be the Padres. But again, they're going to continue to be trying to win the World Series, chasing that run. They're not playing the Padres. It's exciting. You gotta like it, and that's their philosophy. Not everybody has that. Yeah. I gotta go to book account here and get the news regarding Ryan O'Hearn. He might be moments away from being dealt out of Baltimore.
The very latest for this trade deadline special continues live from Studio 3 of MLB Network.
I was expecting.
Brian O'Hearn in left field.
Settled into college. Shop online and choose from thousands of pickup options or delivery at IKEA-USA.com.
The Brillbot is the world's first and only.
I think Sweden Kwan going to LA. Ramon Laureano too. Oh.
Check out the Brillbot, available in black or red. Try the Brillbot risk-free for 60 days with our no question fast satisfaction guarantee. Go to Brillbots.com today.
Some people like doing things the hard way, like doing your finances with a spreadsheet instead of using Quicken. Quicken pulls all your finances.
That's a great deal. Great deal. A Padres just
These pockets hold so much more. They hold dreams and hope for
great
children.
deal by the Orioles.
These days, you can find on bucket plus 20% off almost anything at the same time.
At Mothers, we know that some of us like to play harder and get dirtier than most. But when it's time to clean up and face the
I am going to the Orioles Cup game tomorrow, and I'm not going to know half the fucking players on the Orioles roster. Probably will know them, but jeez.
Is that necessary?
No. Neither is missing your daughter's competition to do paper. But Paycom employees do their own paper, so you don't have to miss your daughter's big day. Time to shop. Get Paycom and make the unnecessary unnecessary.
Big news. DirecTV got hot.
I thought they'd never lose those punching satellite dishes, but Apple streaming ads.
They've never been more flexible.
Is that DirecTV?
You better.
They got apps now too.
I mean, apps.
You can get a breaker without a device.
Those are your problems. It's true. DirecTV got hot.
Sorry. Did live TV and apps starting in 1999.
And look.
Oh, that is a delicious looking orange slice.
You know, it's actually my son's. Go ahead, you can take it, Mike.
Yeah, that's really good. The marker.
Nothing outshines a blender.
Did you see that? Thursday at 7 Eastern and Friday at 12:30 Eastern on MLB Network.
We have a trade alert. I think the break saying Ryan O'Hearn could be on the move out of Baltimore. John Heyman, that's the very latest breaking news. John, what do you got?
Yeah, Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano go from the Orioles to the Padres. You guys have been talking about the winners. Certainly the Mets are a winner, the Yankees are a winner, Mariners are a winner, but is anybody a bigger winner than the Padres? Really in two excellent bats here, Laureano and O'Hearn, and I think needed as well. Their offense hasn't been quite as great as you think with all the good names that they have, but right now they have quite a good, well-rounded team.
Do they have prospects left to trade? It's incredible what they're doing right now.
Well, they gave up the best one, obviously, Leo DeVries. That was the big one, and that went to Oakland. But they are great at procuring talent. We've seen that time and time again.
AJ Preller is so good for the game. I mean, he really is entertaining on a day like this, the trade deadline. Johnny, thank you very much. Okay, this is big. Now you're starting to look at a game of musical chairs, huh? Because there are a lot of position players the Padres have, and you're just wondering how these two fit into what they're doing.
Yeah, Laureano's had a great year. He's not just a defensive guy now. And I love the O'Hearn signing. I think it made Devin Sheets a full-time DH in this case. You know, how they split the time. Clearly, Laureano, the better defender, will be out there in the lead late. But I think O'Hearn's going to help this team.
We don't have 40-man spots anyways, to be honest.
But now you're going to see offense in a lot of different places here. So when you think about me behind the plate, the defense, Miller back in what already was probably the best bullpen in baseball. This has been a very good couple of days from San Diego.
What you said earlier about the Mariners bringing down the neck of the Houston Astros, we sort of need to make the moves they made, and they made a dramatic one to reacquire Carlos Correa from the Minnesota Twins, and then they went and got Jesus Sanchez, left-handed bat they were looking for. You can say the same thing about the Padres only 3 games back of Los Angeles Dodgers, retooling their roster in such a dramatic way.
They did. I tell you, I love
Did anybody say anything about the starter for the Orioles tomorrow?
Now, the Dodgers, how I view them is totally different than what everybody else does. Why did I have to do that? All I got to do is get healthy. That's the best trade you can ever make. If the Dodgers bring back their payroll, they've had the best trade there.
I think it's Trevor Rogers, but
You get all the pitching coming back. You get all this. You don't think the Dodgers are sitting here paying attention. They're paying attention, but I don't think they're sitting there going, "We got to make these type of moves."
Chris Davinsky still has options.
That would be what they're going to do last year. And Conforto, who's starting to come out of his funk a little bit, plays like they hope, then they'd answer that. But that would be the biggest thing for me. Like you said, Mookie's starting to get healthy again. He's getting his weight back. He's playing. Shohei, Freddie, you got that combo at the top of your order. You are feeling pretty good. And the pitching is starting to get healthy. I just think you got to look at for what it is. If they get back what they think they're going to do in August, it's the best trade deadline you can have.
You said that Ryan O'Hearn is a great hitter. Ryan O'Hearn had some mediocre seasons for a very long time. This was his best season of his career.
All-star year.
Is he what we see in 2025 and the Padres? Great hitter.
Yes, because we've seen it now 3 years in Baltimore. This guy was a 217 hitter with Kansas City. And they basically were done with it. And he found a new life here in Baltimore. And he's caught his strikeout rate almost in half. He's like 80 points to his batting average. He's a completely different hitter than he was in the early days of Kansas City. You look at the numbers, almost the same number of games Kansas City has in Baltimore, and much better hitter. What he did, I don't know if we have the tape here to show you, but what he did was he made some changes in his setup that really was to me, it's sustainable. Sometimes guys get hot, change the scenery, we hear that.
How does the Padres?
But I want to show you what he's done here in terms of changing. We're going to go back to his days in Kansas City here, and you're going to see here, lay on the fastball here, and now using the same camera angle, I want to show you the difference in the swing.
I don't think so.
First of all, the bat is held a little bit higher. But watch if he gets to the contact point. His posture is going to change dramatically on the left-hand side. Watch his head now and how far it will dip. You see that? It's all about the posture here, where the Orioles had him much more straight up and down, if you will, than he was before. Getting to the right posture, starting with the right bat angle has made a world of difference. And he did that ever since he got there in Baltimore. And again, almost the same.
Really hates him.
Completely different.
Johnny Van's not a good player anyways.
He's one of these guys. When you think about Ryan O'Hearn, you have to think about the player he's been the last 3 years, not the player in Kansas City.
837 OPS highest during his time in Baltimore. So O'Hearn and Laureano go to the San Diego Padres. I want to get Steve Phillips and Joel Sherman involved on this. You heard what Harold said about the Dodgers' knee-jerk reaction, or if there will be one after they watch the second-place team in the NL West retool their roster like this.
Yeah, so it's interesting, guys. We see sort of the dominoes fall where the Astros get Jesus Sanchez, probably because they found out that Ryan O'Hearn wasn't effective for them or Laureano. And then we see the Padres get both those guys. The Dodgers now are in line to get Stephen Kwan, it seems to me. Like that's the move for them to get Kwan. And Dalton Rushing, likely the trade piece going back and return as the lead piece in it. Because remember, yesterday in the 3-team deal, they got that Wilfred, the left-handed hitting catcher from Tampa Bay, who can now be the backup to Will Smith. And I think Rushing now is freed up to become that trade chip. It feels like the Dodgers and Kwan seem to fit right now.
They do. Let me say one overarching thing. It's very easy on a day like today when your rivals are doing things. What do? Well, they're the defending champions, and what if they did nothing? We would still look at their healthiest version of their 26-man roster. We don't know if they'll ever get there. And say, that's a team that can win a championship again, even if they do nothing in the next hour and 23 minutes. Conversely, they're the Dodgers. They spent more than $400 million on payroll this year. That's over $160 million in tax.
They're not going to stop. And Quan is the kind of guy who you can imagine hitting postseason pitching. You're watching everybody go out and get power pitching that misses bats in October. Quan can hit power pitching in October. It feels like a Dodger move. Griffin Jax is still out there. Is that so? Like at the last second, if you at like about 6:05, 5 minutes after the deadline, if we heard the Dodgers did a couple of things just before the deadline, it wouldn't surprise me. But I would keep in mind they are an excellent team no matter what they do from here on.
Yeah, it's a good point. I do think, though, they do need something in the bullpen. And remember last year, right at the end, Jack Flaherty ended up a Dodger, right? Just as the deadline was coming to an end, they got Flaherty, and it shocked everybody. Don't be surprised if they wait. Teams are left kind of holding the bag, and the Dodgers jump in.
And who knows? We might see 3 more trades by the Padres. I mean, AJ Preller might not even be close to being done on this trade deadline, which I think has been historically active. We come back, the very latest on 2 right-handers for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen. Will they get moved before the 6 p.m. deadline? We're back live after this.
It starts with self-esteem. Feel like you feel good about it. I'm gonna need it. I'm training for life. From after school pickup.
Not a World Series.
To a 12-hour night shift. I don't have time to give it any. I've got state.
Phil starts with a Celsius. I got a whole day to see. First it's cardio, then it's a race against the clock and 3 fuel. I've got 48 to do in 24.
It's 4:49 a.m. Grab a Celsius, lock in. I've got a goal to hit and a deck to conquer. A party to be the life of, and all the essential energy I need to do it.
The Academy Plus, there are winners. Go for glory with Gary first. Play now.
People said I was crazy to do this. I wanted something different, radical, and fun. Born on the beach, San Diego, now rocking pride worldwide. Welcome to your new favorite kids.
When I switch to T-Mobile, you'll give me a new iPhone 16, help pay off my old phone, and I still get to keep it.
That's right. No trading.
Oh, yes.
Switch to T-Mobile, get a new iPhone 16 on us. No trade needed. We'll even pay off your old phone up to $800.
America, anything we want, except one thing. We just can't stop being American. So get out there, take your swing. Family legends on Freedom Reigns, and never, ever stop being American. Nothing stops America, and nothing stops Ram.
Right now, with Employee Pricing Plus, purchase and get an average of $10,900 below MSRP on 2025 Ram 1500 Ram Crew Cab 4x4 models. Hurry in. Offer ends July 31st.
Let's talk salary.
Great. What do you typically offer for this role?
It's competitive.
And if it was a number, it would.
Oh my God.
Competitive. With Indeed, you can avoid awkward salary conversations from the start.
Well, a number.
Is it competitive?
Whatever the moment.
Make it a cocktail. On the rocks, bartender created cocktails.
VR power of living is the tools to do more. Reclaim more of your property with a proven DR field and brush mower. Trim more places with a versatile DR trimmer mower. Devour more branches with a powerful DR chipper. Clear more leaves with an easy-to-use DR leaf and lawn vac. Get ready to do
Who are the Orioles gonna trot out there tomorrow?
what is it today to shop to sale on your local dealer.
So far, something we get from money rights for G my pitches. Plus, if that's one of so far, I can help.
Did I just say 6 players are going back to the Orioles for Ryan O'Hearn?
on the Padres. Well, these are all
He's
literally
not a smart. Bob's not a smart.
Well, his middle names might be AJ. So
Stop.
So
It is so
No, he's not.
we're approaching a 1 hour warning.
They're gonna keep him. He's gonna be their closer now.
NL Boots Tonight is presented by MindFeed. Doing our hair right.
Brewers already did their move. No, it's not thin still. Tommy fan will be a Jerry. Confirmed.
No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer. FDA approved for 18 types of cancer, including certain early stage and advanced.
Okay.
One of those cancers is early stage non-small cell lung cancer. Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies before surgery when you have early stage lung cancer, which can be removed.
Castro's about to get moved.
Prevent your lung cancer from coming back.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body.
6 days ago, he became a first baseman.
Chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, persistent or severe muscle pain, muscle twitches, fever.
Call up Kalen Culpepper tomorrow. I'm not joking.
Keytruda is an immunotherapy and is also being studied in hundreds of clinical trials, exploring ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true. Keytruda. See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor about Keytruda.
Why the fuck are the Yankees even playing right now? He's wearing number 2. Okay. They were maybe.
So the weather in New York City area, absolutely terrible. I mean, the flash flood warnings on all of our phones. Our studio's not too far away. LeBron said the tarp was on the field. The rain is going to stop, and they're going to try to resume this ball game at 5:20 p.m. Eastern. The Rays taking on the New York Yankees, currently in a regular game. They're winning this game by a score of 7-4. Now, if you take a look at the wild card standings, you might say to yourself, "Oh, wait, where are the Rays? The Rays should definitely be in the mix there." The Rays are only 3 games tied with the Royals out of the last AL wildcard spot. Only 3 games. So you're thinking to yourself, wait, should they sell? Buy or sell? Well, I guess it seems like the move they're going to make. They traded Danny Jansen to the Milwaukee Brewers. The Rays are waving the white flag on the year. And if so, they have 2 terrific assets. Because, look, I love Yandy Diaz. They might move him. He got hit by a pitch in this game.
Anybody interested in the idea is going to need medicals on that to make sure he's 100% okay. Oh, yeah. Right now. But Peter Fairbanks, flamethrower in the back end of the bullpen, price is high for relievers. And Brandon Lau, a second baseman, there's a club option next year for $11.5 million, $500,000 buyout. That is team friendly. That's a slugging second baseman. He can change the lineup for a lot of teams.
I never rule out the Rays, either in the race or trading, because they have to be nimble, right? It's the way they operate. The schedule to me really caught up with them. We talked about that before the year started. You know, because they backdated so many in the road games. Like they're on the road almost all of July, August. Only 8 home games in July, 8 home games in August. It's really caught up to them. They're starting to leak some oil here. So I'm not saying they're out of it, but I do think they're in a situation where you have to consider moving some of these guys. Fairbanks, to me, when you look around and see the price being paid for relief pitching, this market to me is all about relief pitching. Yeah. That's what wins in October. Last year, the Dodgers won the World Series. They went 11-5 in 16 postseason games, and their starters averaged 3 2/3 innings per start. Their starters went 4-4. Their bullpen went 7-1.
That's great.
The way forward is relief pitching. Pete Fairbanks actually is a really good fit for the LA Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
If there's ever a guy who's born to be a Dodger, to me, it's Fairbanks. The way he throws, the way he spins the baseball. That wouldn't surprise me, because I still think we need to hear from the Dodgers. Brock Stewart is not the end for the Dodgers. There's another move.
Well, I think
No, Brock Stewart is fine.
Experience in the postseason. It's big. That's Fairbanks. He has it. That's stuff. He's got it both. And I'm telling you right now, all the names that we're throwing around, give me this nasty dude. He's filthy. And he is a tough at bat, righty or lefty, hard to pick up. And he's going to be facing people that haven't seen him before. And I'm sorry, that's a big deal. To have to face him and have never had that bat off him, that is a huge advantage for him as they go down the stretch. It's a national league team. So I'm looking at price tag that people are paying, and I'm seeing the names of the relievers out there. He's up here on the board for me. That's a game changer for the direction of your play. What about Brandon Lau?
Because I think the Seattle Mariners would be a perfect fit.
Oh, if the Mariners could get their hands on him, let's write the ticket. How about a package deal for both those two? Woo.
The Seattle Mariners. Yeah, I think set up for Munoz. I think there's a dream on a Mariner lineup. They have Julio Rodriguez leading off, Brandon Lau batting second, Cal Raleigh batting third, Josh Naylor hitting cleanup, David Suarez batting fifth, Randy Rosarena batting sixth. That is a scary team to face.
Scary. And then they got all the pitching. But this was the talk of Seattle for 2 years now. Just needed the offense. It looks like they're putting it together. And a move like that puts it over the top.
Well, you're talking, too, about the ability to change history. There are 5 franchises that have never won the World Series. The 3 longest that have been waiting, Seattle, San Diego, Milwaukee. They've all got opportunities in front of them. We're saying San Diego. It's not just the
Seattle's never been there at all.
These windows sometimes the year. This is Seattle's moment right now. I love what they've done so far.
Well, and you look at what last year we had Yankees, Dodgers in the World Series. Okay? All those teams are a little down. This is the year, if you're going to capitalize on them, to get in it. And you have to.
I think if we just focus on the American League, because anything can happen if you get to the World Series, right? If you just focus on the AL, the Mariners realize they have a chance, and they're acting like it. The Astros realize they can easily be the team that wins the American League Championship Series, and they're acting like it. Are the Tigers doing that? Have they made moves that are headline attractions? They've made moves, but are any of these players that they're acquiring going to be complete difference makers? I don't know about that. And the Toronto Blue Jays, as well as they're playing, are they really going to go all in? And I love Shane Bieber. That could be the move of the time deadline. It's a sneaky move. Could be the Matt Boyd move. It could be the Matt Boyd move of 2024 when he was.
I think Boyd was further along in recovery than Bieber. Bieber did 4 games in the middle of the 23 season. And he had to shut down the rehab during the summer. He speaks once a week now. I think I'm over 6 inches. Ceiling there, but it's also a risk. But I'm with you at Detroit. Very underwhelming, I would say, what they've done. Tremendous confidence because they're impact pitchers. We've seen move on right
Brandon Butterworth.
team is going to step. And the Tigers are going to leave out. They're not strong. But I said that even in the great run, they weren't convincing me this is a World Series team. If they were the team that would that change the way you would. No, they're pitching. Okay, more so than they can operate it. There are guys available. Yes, we got an hour left for the deadline. When we come back, we're going to recap all the moves that have been made.
He's a switch batter.
Carlos Correa waves his new trade to go back to the Houston Astros. The Twins trading Correa to the Stros. A full recap on an action-packed trade deadline Thursday when this show rolls on.
Here to help you save hundreds by customizing your car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Probably should have done the other.
The Brewbot is the world's first and only
The Brewers aren't doing anything. They don't operate.
Check out the Brewbot available in black and red. Try the Brewbot risk-free for 60 days for their Midwest and fast satisfaction guarantee. Go to brewbots.com today.
They're all winners.
When I switch to T-Mobile, you'll give me a new iPhone 16. I'll pay out my old phone and expect it to keep it.
That's right. No trade. Oh, yes. Switch to T-Mobile and new iPhone 16 on us. Go trade immediately. Pay off your old phone up to $800.
Jurassic World. Pretty people with Jurassic World. Experience ultimate video pro. Unsurpassed today, no matter what it is. Or third row, and all the invention. Jurassic World.
With employee pricing plus, purchasing an average of $7,899 MSRP. July 31st.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want whiter teeth, they have to make a choice, one versus the other. Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth as well as providing 24/7 sensitivity protection. Patients are going to love to see Sensodyne on the shelf.
We are trying really hard to get you Reese's peanut butter cups, but there is only so much we can do here. You're gonna have to meet us halfway. Well, the whole way, actually.
Not what I was expecting. IKEA, you need to get them settled into college. Shop online and choose from thousands of pickup options or delivery at IKEA-USA.com.
And for a minute. Oh, that is a delicious looking orange slice. You know, it's actually my son's slice. Go ahead, you can take it, right? Yeah, that's really good. The larger one is the cat.
Nothing else sounds good.
So our company did my insights to achieve my ambitions, like earning more money on my I go so far are higher nationwide and ethical.
I said those Dodgers are acquiring Alex Call. When I saw Washington Nationals, I was like, oh boy.
He said it was clear Minnesota wasn't looking in the direction he wanted, and they agreed to find a trade. I let them know.
1 hour. It's a nuke. It's a little pop firework thing.
At just under $100 million. Right? This is a very significant part of this story. What I was told earlier today is the Astros will be paying a majority of that money, although the Twins did include some significant cash as a part of this exchange. Now, we're still waiting on the official release of the players involved, but the framework in this deal obviously is in place. And you saw, as Carlos told Brian, this is the one place that he was going to go. It's really important to take the overall context of what the Astros have done today into consideration here. It's not just Correa, it's Jesus Sanchez, and they are still talking with the Padres about Dylan Cease. There's a lot of activity, Greg, still to go, now less than an hour before the 6 p.m. Eastern Time deadline. I'm just making some notes of major starting pitchers who have been discussed and have not moved yet. Cease is one of them. Again, he may well move to Houston, but you also talk about Sandy Alcantara, you talk about Gallen, Kelly, the Boston Red Sox are involved looking for a starter, the New York Yankees, the Los Angeles Dodgers. We have had so much activity already, Greg, and we are not even close to finish. There is a ton of time left to go. And one last note, as you talked with Harold earlier about the Tigers, they have been involved in a number of different fronts here. They did try on Suarez, they tried on David Bednar, but they really like their internal process with their prospects. They are one of the teams, and again, we're seeing the teams that are more aggressive with moving their prospects. The Padres are certainly one of them. The Astros have shown they're comfortable moving their prospects. The Tigers, partly or wrongly, are one of those teams that really have a lot of connection and attachment to their prospects. That's the new business place right now in Detroit, Michigan.
We can see this day being a reunion Thursday because Correa back to the strong point out Verlander back to the struggle board, Charlie Gordon back to the struggle. He needed to get out of it. Jim Crane loved his world championship team. John Rose, thank you so much. And I want to recap some of the action on this day. This is that one now. Carlos Correa going back to Houston.
It was kind of funny. Is he wanted 5 years, 60, and then turned out he got close to 2 months. They get him 2 3 for 92. Right. There are a bunch of club options after 3 for 92. They get Correa, and then they have the left-hand right there looking for top Jesus Sanchez. Yeah, this was very heavy. It's fine.
He's back, but this really helps. I mean, it's over 800 for hand pitching. They went into the deadline saying we need a left-handed bat. This was the answer.
But the biggest power bat that was moved was Anthony Suarez coming back to Seattle. It's fourth is the Mariners. All that is a little bit of some time with that too, but they threw him into the lineup. So they did just what they did with Nail and the boards. Chance of defensively and offensively. Now, the best left-handed reliever in terms of ERA, David Colon's Minnesota Twins, 1.16 ERA. He's going to Arlington, Texas, to the right pitch.
Yeah, that was big. And again, you look at him lefty, handles lefty well, but he can get righties out as well. I mean, he's got no fear. He pitches very often. You could drop him in with runners on base. And what a versatile bullpen piece this is from Bruce Bochy use, and nobody uses bullpen pieces better.
The Blue Jays go make a move on a guy that hasn't thrown a pitch in the big leagues this year. Shane Bieber trying to battle back from Tommy John. Do you think he can make an impact?
If you can dream on a play, this is the guy. I'm going to talk about the guy that's Cy Young runner every season. If we can find just a smidgen of that, make it worth a month or two, good thing.
Is this the answer for the Yankees, Sean? David Bednar?
It's an answer because I didn't think they had enough bullpen depth. When we talk about bullpens now, this is not trying 15 in the Royals with the big three. To get to the postseason, you need about 5 or 6 deep. The Yankees were missing that. Williamson better, Weaverton better, Bednar makes them even better.
Steven Matz has been a reliever for the most part, a good one for the Cardinals. He goes to the Red Sox. Do you think he starts any games early?
I do. I look at the reclamation they've been able to do with left-handed in Boston. And again, break that high, fixing the Fenway Park, left-handed is a big advantage for them.
So the Tigers did make some moves. They tinkered. Paul Sewald, the veteran reliever,
They've actually added 6 pitchers. I think we started with Chris Paddock, the starting pitcher, but Sewald's been hard, but he'll be back soon. Again, he's got that kind of invisible fastball hitters just don't get on top of because of that little release point. It'll help, but again, no impact arms added for Detroit.
Kyle Finnegan had a stretch of about 2 years where he was a terrific coach for the Nationals. What do you think the Tigers are getting now at this stage of his career?
I think they're getting a guy that's got a chance to go out through it again. And I think anytime he's back to it, it's a wall of good stuff. But it's the mix of Greg that makes it all work. You gotta have the right mix. I don't think you sit there saying, "Big, close out every game, we gotta win." It's a combination of how they will use it to help you be effective.
Other than Canley, they invested in other guys. They did a really good job. You see the digits here. You know, I said no impact bombers, but those 6 guys, they're stuck tend to play up once they get to Detroit. Finnegan was got non-tendered by Washington, and then 70 months later, they're giving him 2 players to get him. They didn't have a great month in July, but again, confidence in the pitching development guys there in Detroit is really high.
So if it's a long list of players, if you're a fan of the Detroit Tigers, are you excited? Are you excited about what they're doing?
I'm trusting my coaching staff is what they're doing. I'm a little concerned about their offense. They have the 5th highest strikeout rate in Major League Baseball. That generally come back to bite you when you see really good pitching in the postseason. Nothing was done about that. But again, I think a lot of faith in the staff and the way they use players. Who better than Nathan Hanch and blocking all these chess pieces on the board? Part of that is bullpen chaos, right?
And you see any of those guys being flipped, we still got another 45 minutes. Any of the pieces they got are all those pitchers to go get leading offensive.
I don't see that. No, I don't think there's enough value there to get that piece that you need. And, you know, I'm not sure if they will talk to Cleveland about Stephen Kwan, but that type of hitter, I think, really makes me a little more confident in Detroit's offense. Like, I'm not
See, on the I can totally see that. Ryan Wood up at first base. Absolutely. I can see Cease getting moved, Swarner's getting moved, Arise, or maybe Jake Cronenworth getting traded. We got almost 45 minutes until deadline. Will be the number one name we're saying. I get that feeling in my bad name. Hey, New York Mets fans, you have me stoked. Brand new bullpen and a new center fielder and center balls. We'll recap the National League trades that have happened on this deadline.
Oh my God, Fine said. Of course it's a. Oh wow, it's not official.
It starts with substance. They look good about. No training for life. From after school pickups to meal to a 12-hour night shift. Now it's time to get ready. The drill starts with substance. To race against the clock. I've got 48 to do at 24.
It's 4:49 a.m. Drop healthy with login. I've got a golden hit and back to I'm ready to be the light up and all the essential energy I need to do it. Ta-da! All I was expecting. IKEA. We need to get them settled into college. Shop online and choose from thousands of pickup options or delivery at IKEA-USA.com.
At Ace, our buckets hold so much more than people. They hold dreams and hope for children. This weekend, make a $5 donation to get a 5-gallon bucket plus 20% off almost anything that's inside. Ace is a really super helpful hardware. The Cup Thrills with Unlimited Adrenaline. With the new Joe People Works convertible. That's amazing.
When I switch to T-Mobile, they'll give me a new iPhone 16. Help me out with my old phone.
Switch to T-Mobile, get a new iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in need. You can pay off your old phone up to $800.
If anything happens to me, I don't want my family to stress online. I search for that online plan. It took maybe 10 minutes. I got covered 100% online. Ethos made it fast and easy to attend.
Check your price at ethos.com.
Goldilocks needs a place of her own. Thankfully, she's on Redfin. They update her routines every 2 minutes. And with so many options, she's bound to find exactly what she wants.
This one's just right.
Thanks, brand new Active join more than seniors as they explore all the baseball buzz and social media. Managers, the Off Base Podcast. Baseball for the guys, always in the network.
The power of baseball was beyond the field. We're able to use our platform and let these kids know that dreams are reachable.
It's very important to leave something behind to show our gratitude. Stand up to cancer. Together, 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 together.
We live the biggest plays for every game. With Fish, late nights and early mornings. MLB
I'm going to the Orioles Cubs game tomorrow. I ain't gonna know half the fucking roster on the fucking Orioles. Sounded like a question.
He's on the move. The new center fielder for the New York Mets are waiting. I love it. I think it's perfect. You know, we always look at those center fielders for the Mets who do a nice job. He's perfect. For what they left-handed hitter, he can get anywhere in the lineup. He can get up at the bottom, up at the top, and down at the bottom. Which I think will probably extends the lineup. People are going to look at it. So they extended the bullpen. The Mets get Ryan Helsley with close game shots. No, he has good close games, but how about 3 of the top 7 hardest throwers in baseball were traded at the deadline here. This is one of them. And now you look at the back of this Mets bullpen with Stan, Diaz, Reed Garrett. All these guys are about 97 plus. And we forgot about this guy who does not throw hard. Just happens to be one of the best elite pitchers in baseball over the last 4 years. You talk about a manager's best friend. You bring this guy to the game, the ball is on the ground, he's throwing to throw strikes, he can pitch the next day, the day after that, the day after that. Well, what the Mets have done effectively.
Friendly reminder: they don't have a fucking closer.
This is one of the fireballs we had. They did give him a lot to get him. And you look at what? Let's surprise the heck out of him. Oh, the Gables will be in that rotation next year for Minnesota Twins. I'm sure right now. I didn't think they used it. So other moves internationally. Harrison Bader in center field is really set. That's what's big for me. They need a regular depth. I think they need to improve that field defense. They do that with Bader. And I'm telling you, I would not be surprised to see him take a bets away from Max Kepler. He's a higher slugging right-handed pitching than the left-handed Kepler does. Don't sleep on that addition. Mason Miller and J.P. Sears, 4 prospects. A.J. Brown was shocked us with this one. Shocked to the move. And what you got him.
That's a good haul for call.
Miller upside to the Reese. I want to show you a tape on this kid. Great. He's a top 3 player in all minor league baseball. The number 3 prospect in baseball.
We saw 2 of the top 50 prospects in baseball traded, not for starting pitchers, not for everyday players, for relief pitchers to throw 50 to 60 innings a year.
Where Wyatt O'Hearn's royalty with Ramon Laureano also coming with him?
I got that both field, maybe straight platoon or something similar along those lines. This really lifeless San Diego lineup that for me.
Well, they got the prowl. They were on the prowl.
Really good year offensively. We know he's a great defender. So this is in one fell swoop. They saw big hole blood.
It's probably you don't see a 100 first back. I love this one for the Cubs. Andrew Kittredge keeps the ball on the ground. Everything's got sync. Had a terrific season last year. The St. Louis Cardinals signed in Baltimore. When he did pitch, he was good. This is a weapon for Brekdown. So you don't make this move unless you're confident that you catch the ball. And then catch the ball. You can't catch the ball. Speaking of catch the ball, what did you make of Brian Hayes being traded to Cincinnati Reds? I love the move. I'm happy for him to get moving out of Pittsburgh. And let's see what happens. You know, it doesn't hit, it does this or that. I just think sometimes you get stuck in a situation where you need a change. He's going to defend. It's going to help the defense out in Cincinnati. I think he's going to play for manager and really take care of it. I think this one. I love Jack Littell. I think he's been really good for a while.
There's the big starting.
The Cincinnati Reds buyers at the deadline only 3 games on that last NL wildcard spot. We're going to set aside to Brian Hayes is taking his axe, getting his BP in, playing his first game since they were able to be traded from the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're squared off against the Atlanta Braves. Both of these teams are playing an afternoon game tomorrow, and then at the Bristol, Tennessee
for the Speedway Classic, which we'll be giving you round-the-clock coverage of from Tennessee. But anyway, we got more trade deadline coverage. We got about 40 minutes to go for the 6 p.m. Eastern deadline. We're back live after this. They're good. The squad knows and squad. Good for these guys' chips and these guys' chips. Jimmy, best enjoy together. Official Spirit, U.S. Soccer.
Litter Robot has now solved the litter box problem for over 1 million pet parents around the world. Hi, I'm Brett Baxter, founder of Whisker and Litter Robot.
If all we get is Mike Soraka and fucking Kittredge, I'm gonna be pissed a little. No way they're gonna get a prospect named Gino Suarez back for.
It's true. Live TV and apps starting at $19.99.
GoodRx helps my family get the medications we need at an affordable price.
I don't want GoodRx because it is safe by outside. They'll say, here are the prices for this at this place and this place and this place, and you don't pick the lowest one. If you are in a situation where your pet needs medication, you should absolutely check out GoodRx.
When you've got a big financial problem, we can give you an instant boost. Your goals become easier to reach.
Bro, these get 3 guys I was trading for him in the fucking show. Tyson Neighbors, Brandon Butterworth, Bateman. Here, make it. Let's see if they could get done. I was in the dark trading.
That's why at Firestone Complete Auto Care, we have thousands of ASC certified technicians nationwide trained to spot an issue with your vehicle before it becomes a problem. Get more out of your car. Firestone Complete Auto Care.
Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. This
Oh.
you don't want.
You know how to care for the people, but you also know it can't be you. We get
Texas Rangers get Merrill Kelly.
doing now for 20% off here.
Sunday, baseball Saturday on MLB's Guardian, showing Brekdown Center for a look at all things cardboard. From vintage to modern, we've got it covered. MLB's Guardian, Sunday at 1 Eastern on MLB Network. Welcome back to MLB Tonight, presented by Montecare Trade Deadline Special on the Yankees dugout. Pacing right on because they had a similar delay. This game is 7-4 Yankees with the lead. They're about to resume play. These are the top trade targets among starting pitchers.
It is Kelly.
But what about some of the other names that you're looking at? John Hayden, Jim Snell, for more. We have to believe, which were a little more than 30 minutes ago for the 6 p.m. deadline, John, that some of these names are going to get moved. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Merrill Kelly's going to get moved soon. Rangers are closing out a deal for Merrill Kelly. So in Boston, several other teams have been looking at Merrill Kelly, a very, very accomplished, consistent pitcher for the Diamondbacks for years. And Texas, which had really arguably the best 1-2 pitching punch in the game, now lands an outstanding number 3 starter behind Evaldi and of course the great Jacob DeGrom. So they have a great player rotation, and I think their hitting is better than it's shown at this point. I think it's coming around to some degree, but they still have good names in there with Senior and Adolis and some other guys. So they are a threat. I don't think there's any question about that.
That is fascinating, interesting that the Texas Rangers would look to go starter, even though it's clear that they clearly need another reliever in the back
was going, they felt that Cease was probably going somewhere else. And of course, we talked about how Houston has been trying to get Cease, their rival. A lot going on in that division right now. But certainly, that's one way to do it, to get great starting pitching. That's a way to win championships.
All right, John, thank you. We had a trade alert. We get some breaking news that's long to Yeah, John, you got ahead of this. Jeff Bass making it official. The Rangers are acquiring Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks.
Wow. I look at Merrill Kelly, and the first thing that comes to mind for me is Evolve. It reminds me of that trade. Nobody really knew what the Rangers were getting when they got Evolve. And I think Merrill Kelly is one of the top pitchers in baseball that people are missing. On top of it, is excellent. Well, he's the way he locates it, his ability to attack.
He's an alternator with low effort delivery. He's durable, battle tested. He pitched great, not just in October 23, but down the stretch for Arizona in meaningful games. I love this pickup, but I'm scratching my head a little bit because they've got great starting pitching. That has not been an issue. I thought they were going to address their bullpen, and maybe indirectly this does. When you think about Jack Leiter, and you think about Kumar Rocker, maybe you protect them and their workload by moving them into a bullpen role.
There was talk when Rocker was drafted that maybe he's a closer.
Some people still think eventually that's where he'll wind up. But once he got back from the minor leagues this year, his stuff has been much better. He's worked a lot of sequencing. He's doing a great job with that. I wouldn't give up him as a starting pitcher by any means. But maybe in the short term with Merrill Kelly there, that's something that they can look at.
I think one thing we got to look at also is a lot of young pitching in baseball is going to get pitch limited. Period. I think this, even with the Texas Rangers making the run that they're going to with Leiter and you're talking about Kumar, those guys are going to get limited time. They're going to get pulled back. They're not going to go through 200 innings, so to speak, because we're on a great run of the postseason. So, yeah, it makes sense to me. You go get Merrill Kelly, a veteran pitcher, you're able to cut back on Leiter and Rocker's time.
Jesse Rogers is not a
He's incredible. I mean, that says to me, I'm not worried about your arm. Here's the ball. I'm not putting on pitch limit. Here's the ball. That's a big difference.
Yeah, they did have to take out a little bit of a pitch limit just because the way we started the season fully healthy.
Jesse Rogers is not a reliable source. He said
I think he's going to be fine. Evaldi's been lights out.
a what? Oswaldo Peraza to the fucking Angels?
Seattle, we talked about what they've done. Houston with blockbuster move today. Texas now answering. It's hard.
The Texas Rangers to get a closer before this deadline passes. We're 30 minutes away. You can almost guarantee they're going to acquire a reliever. It's going to happen.
Yes! Willie Castro's coming to the Cubs. Oswald Peraza. What?
Yeah, when you get them settled into college, shop online and choose from thousands of pickup options or delivery at IKEA-USA.com.
Willie Castro is a bench player. For prospects. Cubs are acquiring Willie Castro. Let's go. And he can play in center, and he's not Birdie.
Big news. Brett
He's not Bruhan. He's not Bruhan.
It's true. In live TV and apps starting at $19.99.
For over a century, Frigidaire has dared to perform. We've maximized space for up to 35 bags of groceries and created the adaptable fridge to freezer drawer. You'll always put your family first. Dare to expect more. Frigidaire.
Willie Castro's gonna play everywhere. No, he can't be here. Not on the Cubs.
Right here in the USA. Try Little Robots. Ooh, I can ignore that. Just a reminder to get life insurance, but I can do it later. We just got our life insurance with Eagles. You would get $1 million in coverage, and it only takes about 10 minutes. That's not bad, actually.
Check your price today at egos.com.
Drivers, start your engines. Feel the history. Baseball roars in the festivals. The MLB Speedway Classic. An extraordinary one-time event where speed is redefined. Join MLB Network before and after the big game. That's the Braves and Reds will pounds the metal in baseball's biggest summer spectacle. The MLB Speedway Classic, presented by Phillips-Submarines.com. Live coverage begins Friday, August 1st.
I love that news. We have a trade alert. John Hayden, the shaded line with some breaking news. John, what do you got, buddy? Willie Castro goes from the Twins to the Cubs. Very versatile players, switch hitter, can play every infield position, and the Cubs have a terrific positional situation going. They're outstanding, and they add to that. Now, they're still certainly looking at starting pitching, and we still have 27 minutes to go, 26 minutes and 16 seconds to go. So we shall see. All right, Willie Castro, 28 years old, versatile player, like we said. OPS this year over 730, traded to the Chicago Cubs. So breaking news from John Hayden. I want to check in with John Morosi. Twins are trading everybody, man. So who's next? We'll be hearing.
The rebuild is certainly on in the Twin Cities. This is not a done deal, but it's something that is being discussed. The Boston Red Sox are making a late push to try to acquire Joe Ryan before the top of the hour. Now, Joe Ryan, as we know, has been one of the most coveted top starting pitchers in the entire major leagues at this year's trade deadline. There's multiple years of control, but Greg, to your point, with the rebuilding effort now fully in effect in the Twin Cities, they are really leaning into where they're at right now as an organization. And certainly moving Correa, moving Castro, moving multiple pieces. And Joe Ryan is the man the Red Sox want to put them over the top in the American League East. Now, what we don't know is perhaps would a Jaron Duran have to go to Minnesota as part of this kind of a trade again. It's only being discussed, but here we are with about 25 minutes to go, and the Red Sox are now making a late push for what would be the biggest, or one of the biggest of all the big deals here on a very memorable deadline day.
No doubt. I mean, Joe Ryan been terrific this year in this Twins. 3 ERA. John Morosi, thank you very much. When you think of a player that's got years of control, who is, he fits the criteria what you're talking about. A guy that you want to get the ball to in game 1, 2, or 3 of postseason series. That's Joe Ryan. The price tag is going to be enormous, and you think of teams that would be a match. They have to have prospect inventory. The Red Sox check all the boxes.
Yeah, that's a really good fit. It's going to be a high price because of the years of control for Joe Ryan. As we said, he's a guy who can start easily in game 2 or 3 for the Boston Red Sox, whether it's this year, next year. And that's the key for me. The window for the Red Sox is just opening now. You'll have Joe Ryan go along with these guys. I mean, I think he's already proven, quote unquote, young veteran at this point. I love the way he throws. He's got one of the best fastballs in the game. Think about Zach Wheeler. And that's who Joe Ryan is. Maybe not at that level quite yet, but in terms of how he uses the flips his fastball, the way he can command his fastballs as well. That would be a great get. I mean, you put him behind Garrett Crochet in that rotation. Wow. I mean, you got to think about that if you're trading from a surplus. I'm not sure if Durant is the right fit, but trading from a surplus of young position player to Minnesota. Because when Minnesota to me traded Carlos Correa, that's a franchise-changing trade. Yes. That announces to the baseball industry, we're out, and we are rebuilding. So now's the time to strike if you're both.
Now I know why Wardy went on that TV show on BR.
I think the pecking order is really interesting. Like, okay, we got Correa done. We're signaling to the world, we're moving. And we know once that light goes out, the price tag will end up. Except for Joe Biden. We're the captain, we want to move, we're going to go ahead and make that move. You're not going to get what you think you might because the leverage of we still think we're in it is gone. It's gone. I got it. So, but Joe Ryan, because you're going to have multiple teams wanting him, that's your last piece of the day. That you work on, you please so you can get for it.
I'm really curious to see how these last 20 or something minutes shake out in the starting pitcher market. We talked about this rush on the bullpen.
And that's what we said. Joe Ryan's going to be our arm.
If you go back 10 years, we were all talking about starting pitching. That's what we need to win in October. Now it's all about bullpen to the point now where maybe you can get a bargain on a starting pitcher. Kelly was he was a record player, right? He was a great man in the season. Guys with some years, like Alpaka and Joe Ryan. We'll see what that price is.
You sync it up in the last two starts from San Diego contract. He's not giving up a run in his last two starts. His 2 starts ago, 7 innings, no runs. Just the other day against the Cardinals, 5 innings, no runs. Total of 16 strikeouts, 3 walks in those 2 starts. Is that enough to make any front office, whether it's the Tigers or the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Dodgers, go, we will pay Peter Bendix, who's the president of baseball operations for the Marlins, the former Cy Young Award price tag for San Diego? No. That's an asset. He cannot sell Sadie for less. Then he's going to have to pull it back. He's not getting that price. I just don't think
that's the dilemma in the trade is that he's being priced like an ace, and he's not quite back to being an ace. But you have to back on the fact that he will be an ace. Given this guy's work ethic and stuff, most pitchers will tell you it takes about 18 to 20 months outside of the Tommy John surgery to really get back. You may be back on now before that. You're being a little great, but in terms of command of the baseball, he doesn't have that yet. So if you want to unpack this kind of race right now, you're going to have to pay an ace price for a guy who's not quite an ace. For to answer your question, no, those 2 starts wouldn't convince me. But I'd be willing to bet on the character and work ethic of this guy. That it is right around the corner.
I get what you're saying, but that's more long term. If I'm trying to win right now today, I'm not mortgaging everything today for Sandy, who I think in 2 years or a year will get there. I have to have him, Tom, as you said earlier. I want you to get him ready right now. This is a project.
And Tom, you put a tape together on Sandy. Walk us through. I think what we're seeing is that he's trending in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you put a tape together. Show us what you saw, because I think.
I don't think Sandy is gonna.
20 minutes to go for the deadline.
And this is why with that, if you look at his metrics here, you compare it to his last big season, which is 2022, full season, big numbers, everything. You look at the velo and you go, this guy's back. But the problem is not really the metrics of the pitch. You see the arm angle dropped a little bit.
Willie Castro's a nice pickup. This is great. 2 players for 6 players.
When you put it right there, you're forcing swing decision. But look where he wants to target. And you see where that ball is? That's what's happened to his 4-seam fastball. He's missing in the zone with that pitch. So if I'm scouting him and look at this heat map of his 4-seam fastball, look at the difference. You said, what's the big difference? Look at the height of the pitch. Not that much. That's a huge difference when you're talking about the top rail of 4-seamer and then missing in the zone, which is what he's been doing. I don't have a problem with that. To me, that's something that's fixable. It's a matter of reps. I'm just getting back out there on the mound. When I see the velo, the way the ball's coming out of his hand, I love it. I love seeing it. You're
a pin chase team ready to knock on the door. Now, I'm not talking about next year. I'll have Sandy for another year. They'll get to that Cy Young level.
right now, is he there to do it? Are you saying he'll take you to the top?
I would bet on that. It's not a certainty. It's like Toronto betting on Shane Bieber. I mean, that's a higher stake bet that the Blue Jays made on Shane Bieber that he's going to the postseason this year. We know how Hopper's out there throwing. We know Velo's not a problem. You look at his numbers here, and listen, he's fallen off a little bit, but again, I think it's an issue of command to me that's solvable and it comes with Brett. So yes, I would make the deal.
I originally thought that he was a perfect fit for the Boston Red Sox. But the Red Sox are going to pivot to Joe Ryan, and they're all in on Joe Ryan. The New York Yankees need to go get Sandy Alcantara.
Well, the Yankees have been the top. With the two lefties that they have, they feel good about next three Carlos for them.
He's not busy for game one. He's going to be game two in a postseason series. So the question of right now, the impact, he's better than whatever they have after we're down to that rotation.
With the craziness of we go live at Center Park here in Yankee Stadium, with the craziness of what we've seen today, what we've seen, two of the top 7 prospects in baseball we traded today. We've watched 3 of the top 7 artists throwers get traded today. I'm sitting there going, what Paul Skeet? If I'm Pittsburgh, I'm seeing a price tag like this today. And I know there is not a player in the game that can bring back what everybody's looking for in football scheme. I'm Mitch Keller. I'm Mitch Keller. You have to. If you don't trade schemes, you got to have to go. But if you want to flip your franchise and you see what people are willing to pay right now, today, with the frenzy of 20 teams, or is my window right now? Because 3 years from now, you're sitting in the same spot. And I'm sitting there going, well, gee, I got the chance to flip my whole franchise around with top prospects in baseball.
Leadership traffic of all the trade chips that could be. You're not going to games. That's a completely different card game. And the Pittsburgh Pirates have to decide whether or not they're going to stay on the path.
Because what happens, even though we're talking about the Dodgers are going to be helping.
Royals are acquiring Bear.
You don't tell me that Paul Skeet isn't helping the Dodgers. I said, what do you want? Don't tell me they're not. Don't tell me the Yankees are. What do you want? Don't tell me.
Oh, Perfect Bob. Who cares? Miguel Andujar to the Reds. I knew he's going to get moved. Ha! Phil Brekdown is the greatest left-handed pitcher known to man. Not.
There are a laundry list of teams that have inventory that I'm just wondering when they move them. 3 teams that need to make it on the other side into the fight. The Red Sox, they can need a starting pitcher. The Cubs need a starting pitcher. And the Dodgers need a relief pitcher. Those teams need to make a deal here if you want to win it all. This is the last chance for gas. I agree. If I'm a fan of the Milwaukee Brewers, postseason roster right now.
The Milwaukee Brewers bullpen instrumentation amazing. Are we buying Andrew Vaughn as a 340 hitter down the stretch? He's gonna be what he is the last week and a half, and we don't need a right-handed bat thing like Krishievich.
Well, you know you get real Hoskins on that healthy too. You have that.
He's been hitting 7-8 when he was healthy. Well, do the Brewers try to do anything to make themselves out of that? Not where they're at. Brandon Woodruff is going to be a changer for me.
Oh, pitching-wise, really? Yeah. So, no,
We knew this was going to happen.
3 starters. They're a nightmare match. How about this? Is Harrison Bader the only move that Philly didn't make?
That's a great question. That might be the only move that they make.
They'll trade him in the offseason.
There's so many things I want to talk about. There's just so many moves.
Mackenzie Gordon. Woo! I mean, is Sadie going to get moved? We're down to 15 minutes to go after the 6 p.m. Eastern.
We'll be rocking all the way through with the MLB.
MLB Tonight is presented by Mindful. Doing podcast.
It starts with selfless. You want people good. I'm training for life. From after school pickups to meal prep to a 12-hour night shift. I don't have time to get ready. Let's see. Now, Phil starts with the Celsius. I got a whole day to sleep. First, it's cardio. Then it's a race against the clock. Fuel. I've got 48 to do in 24.
It's 4:49 a.m. Grab a Celsius, log in. I've got a golden hole to make that I'm ready to be the life up to all the essential energy I need to do it.
These days, you got two choices. Buying a new car or making what you got run like it.
Mikal Bridges? A 4-year, $150 million extension? Jesus Christ.
He's a credit. He doesn't know that using his full line of credit can lower his score. Don't treat life maxed out. Learn how to avoid the records at creditrecords.com. Credit one time. Who wants it again? Why pay too much for cable?
Ryan Gallagher and Sam Armstrong for him? Ah!
Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Trust your gut for your whole body health. The Immunogenix Ultra Complete Probiotic and 91 health benefits for 24-hour gut storage. When we have a good feeling, you'll feel the difference.
He's still a backup.
Immunogenix.
He's a backup. Not that big.
It took maybe 10 minutes. I got covered 100% on Ethos made it fast and easy.
Check your price at ethos.com. I guess I'm not the easiest person to please. I like things just right. That's why I love Brekdown's home recommendations. They know what I want even before I do. A home that's just right. Yeah. Your day in baseball starts with MLB Central. Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns, interviews with the players, and a little bit of everything else. Baseball
Dustin May.
MLB Central. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network.
Padres are acquiring Nestor Cortez is going to the Padres.
With Triple Play, Kevin Millar, Ryan Dempster, and Sierra Santos. Three hosts joined by baseball's biggest stars for the best interview in baseball. Intentional Talk, only on MLB Network.
I don't know about 5 trades in 10 minutes. Triantos was in the lineup, you sir. He never was in the lineup, you freaking fraud. They don't even have a lineup out. Jose Caballero. James Triantos was scratched.
Royals acquired Bailey Falter from the Pirates. Bailey Falter's last 16 starts, 2.93 ERA. I haven't faulted at all. Chris Bubich out for the year. This like his spot in the rotation. Wow. All right. We're less than 10 minutes away. Oh no. All right. Caballero is giving hugs. This speedy player.
One of our top second baseman prospects that doesn't have like a position, but Evan Cizak, and Kalen Moss, Braden Lockridge, Brandon. Dude, he's gonna pop off for the Brewers. We all know this.
When I switch to T-Mobile, they'll give me a new iPhone 16. Help me out with my old phone.
Switch to T-Mobile, get a new iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in needed. You need to pay off your old phone up to $800.
Big news. Direct TV guy. Thought they never used those touchy satellite dishes, but not for street ads. They've never been more flexible. You better. They've got apps now too.
You can go to Brooker without a device.
It's true. We and TV. Did live TV and apps starting in 1999. My oldest daughter, Camilla, she came out fighting. 2 days old, she had a surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. Even following success, so tough. She could go to her ex, save a lot of money, save that extra $2,000. One of them do that. One of them want to save. She could go to her ex, do all these extra activities.
What?
If anything happens to me, I don't want my family to stress over money. I could that all my life. It took maybe 10 minutes. I got covered 100% on time. He just made it fast and easy.
Adrian Hauser is going to the Rays.
Hi, I'm Brad Baxter, founder of Whisker. I'm proud to say every robot has been designed, assembled, and serviced right here in the US. Try Little Robots.
These days, you got two choices. Buying a new car or making what you got run like it. That's why we have thousands of players and certified technicians that help you get more out of your car.
My stuff needs a little extra life. So who's there? Walking on the studio scalp. With just 9 ingredients, Head & Shoulders Wear have smoothie scalp. And you can bronze bitch, harness, and flakes. All with no sulfates, silicones, or dyes. Is this a pulp? No, it's a shampoo.
From the #1 dermatologist recommended for Head & Shoulders.
Going to break is Jose Caballero getting hugs to his teammates in the blocks. He's been a member of the team they raised from that's the years, 28 years old. Leads in record in strong mix with 34.
Caballero's hugging the players in the dugout. That's your. There's your.
He's going to get Adrian Hauser trade from the White Sox to the Rays. That's just again, it's just like Cardinals are playing against the Tens from the Brewers. They're another one. Marlins will now be trading in San Diego. They want to get to the ace down the stretch. The Marlins keep pitching this season and developing for the future. Frank Mish with that. Wow. So how they're not going to get moved. Sorry, I'll be trying to comment. We're under 4 weeks ago.
before the deadline. And there are just some marquee names that have not been moved yet. Well, Stephen Kwan is not been traded every year. There's people that do not get moved that would sit there puzzled by it. And that's the beauty of the August 1 deadline. This would have happened years ago, and then you come back August 31st, September 1, and they're on a big league playoff roster. The rule change has forced all this craziness early on. This August 1st frenzy. And there'll be some guys that you sit there and go, how did that move? Why did they move? I like with another move to get
Please. Please, please, please.
Really never developed. When you think about it, first pattern. He goes to Texas. Not a lot of pitchers for relief pitching. So the game has changed in that regard. I think that's a lot to do with the expanded playoffs and the wild card. It's just get in and bullpen and like sitting there and watch a bunch of offensive line with little mates. The Rangers.
Of course. Taylor Rogers from the Reds. He's a rival hopper.
All the metrics in terms of the spin and elite spin for the late time. So this is the Rangers picked up a couple pitches.
He played for the Brewers too.
They had to do something. I didn't expect a starter at the San Francisco. So as you look at what the Rangers did, I think it's a top 5 performance for Coachella. Yeah, they did well. I'm not sure if Maton is the closer. I think he's one of them. He's an option. We all have Bruce.
That's a mistake.
He can come in and pitch out the game in the 6th or 7th inning. Like, they're two valuable guys, perfect for a Bruce coaching team. I thought maybe the right-handed that as well, but their offense has picked up. Again, guys, American League West has been really. What's the box show you went on? We're up within 2 minutes. What are you waiting on? What do you think to that?
He has a 2.45 ERA. That's a good deal. Pomeranz probably gone. Nice story, Pomeranz, but you're gone. He's probably going to be DFA'd. Good Lord! Duvall to the Yankees?
They weren't seeing the same depth from Robert and the prices just weren't matching up. So
They can be patient. They can wait. That's clearly what's been the case. Maybe the Twins will hold on to July. The Marlins are holding on to Sandy Alcantara.
We got a starter last night.
As we are getting down to crunch time. Are you ready? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
And it's not over.
2, 1, and the deadline has passed.
Pencils down.
The stories have actually never delayed after the deadline. Each and every year, there's always 2 to a handful that trades. So Tom, curious, in years past, used to be, I think it's a fax machine.
Not a good starting pitcher last night, though. So, yeah.
It's not like, hey, we're almost done with this. We're in the process of finished. No, a deadline is a deadline in this case. But generally, it does take after that, as we've seen the past years, a few minutes, maybe as many as 10 minutes, until we find out about the last second.
But there's so much of the process. I mean, if it's numbers here, you know, so the Yankees have acquired Khalil Duvall.
The deadline is not over. Well, it is, but it's not.
The Yankees got a win. They're gonna go to the bullpen. They have foreclosures. Yeah. They're
sense. Now, here's what I'll say. Duvall struggled last year, much like David Bednar struggled with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Both guys had
I'm going to the game tomorrow, and I ain't gonna know shit.
Usually, you need someone with immense confidence. I'm hoping Camilo Duvall and David Bednar are hopefully in 2025.
No, they just set up a future Aaron Judge. The hell, man. What?
Because you have to do it immediately in New York. You never want to start a negative narrative in New York.
What are the Rays doing? What?
So yes, it's different. Probably the Red Sox, Phillies, things like that.
Griffin Jackson a Ray?
The ball's close to that group. I mean, once again, this is reliever palooza out there. Get as many swing and miss power arms as you can find. It's no longer just one or two. It's 3, 4, 5. All right. So the other thing with today, David warned about that. That crowd goes crazy. The ball, San Francisco had someone who crowd that fell. There's nothing like without getting mixed. This pennant race, you'll see what. Yeah, I'll get a praise alert. John Heyman, can you give us what you got? Charlie Morton will be going to the Tigers. The 40-something pitcher is still very effective, particularly late to get up to a rough start.
All right.
It's back on field with a great curveball, and the beating Tigers wanted for their rotation. I love that. Energy roaring. I love it. Look, Charlie Morton, his last 11 starts, ERA under 3.3. That has to catch your attention. I told you I didn't love those starting pitch. Cool. They didn't love it. That's why they do it to Charlie Morton. That's a big move for me to help solidify some things. They just were short. It wasn't enough. Yeah.
There's no way.
I love it. Did you do it? Screwball is your ace. Flaherty's pitched in the postseason. Season. You go to Chris Paddock. He sounds like the number 5 starter. Charlie Morton. And with that rotation, Tommy said, if I'm acquiring a starter, I need to know he's going to start a playoff game. Charlie Morton, with his pedigree in the postseason, on this team for the Tigers, he's probably going to start a playoff game. That's a good chance. I mean, it depends how Flaherty and Mize are throwing down the stretch. But yes, you certainly trust him, right? 41 years old, I mean, been there, done that. I've never seen a deadline like this, like what Detroit has done. 7 pitchers that have it. That's a lot. That's a lot. The Rays are acquiring right-handed reliever Griffin Jackson. So the Rays are not selling. The Rays still believe they can make it happen. Well, it's controllable too. You got to be out this year, right? Yes. Griffin Jackson and Peter Fairbanks in the back end of that bullpen. That's 2 more years. Yeah.
I had the Tigers.
Where are the Fairbanks? And this is been sitting in there. They're trading them. So they are 3 games out of that final. You see them cut off at the Royals because we need a bigger screen. But they're also 3 games out of the last AL wildcard spot. They just went out and got Adrian Hauser. Now, our good friend Dan Plesac been moonlighting with the Chicago Sports Network calling White Sox game. This 32-year-old Adrian
The Cubs didn't do anything.
He said that he has figured it out. And his stuff is incredible. Knows how to pitch. Could not say no about Adrian.
We didn't even trade for a starter.
To put in their rotation, they just got Griffin Jackson. Teams that were in the mix heavily for the postseason spot were interested in. The Rays are holding on to Yandy Diaz. They're holding on to Brandon Lau. They're going to try to make it like this. Yeah, I think once people saw the signals come out of Minnesota, you get on the phone with people. And if you know, it's a garage sale going on there. See what you can get. In this case,
He is Ty France.
Not just for 2 months, but how does this make us better going forward, going way back when? The Rays looked at with Scott Rowland getting there a year ahead.
What?
To me, Griffin Jackson having control of him for 2 years.
For what?
Closers type stuff. I mean, he's been saying great in that team. The Tampa Bay Rays are not done yet, and I'm very happy about that. I know they are 1 game under 500. If they
Jose Caballero. Think about it. I love the front offices who can do both, who can approach a deadline and be buyers and sellers. And it's not just AJ Preller out there doing it. The Red Sox, you're looking at, okay, if they're looking at
Gore stays put despite interest from the Red Sox, Padres, and Cubs.
now it's come back. That's a guy that we need somebody still bad. We can pitch running if he's not starting. The Twins trading everyone. Oh, ball to the Jays. I'm waiting for what's loose. I mean, it's crazy right now. What's happening with the Minnesota Twins? I don't know if I've ever, on the day of the deadline, seen one signature domino fall that changed the entire brand of the organization. You guys are on top of that.
Bradley back in the deal? Oh my. Okay.
Yeah, it's really started with the Duran trade. I think the wheels were in motion with Correa. We heard that for the last couple of days. That there's a possibility. And you're going like, what? What's going on there? It became clearly evident that this was a franchise-changing trade. And we're seeing the kind of arms they had at the back end of their
Poor Devers. Nothing.
Garland and Ty France from the Twins. France is going too. Wow. So somewhere, the Minnesota Twins are drinking beers right now, laughing that they're all being traded. His team is going to snap. Garage sale. They wanted to sell LPs about it. This is incredible. They decided immediately this is a reason Correa was so I mean, this week alone, it's going to be I mean, it's wild. But the reason Correa was the significant piece, it was a historic AAV contract for the Minnesota Twins when they signed it. And they still have 3 years, $92 million left. So when you dream of the future of the Minnesota Twins, you still could dream on Buxton, Correa, and Lewis. And the second that changed, everything fell apart after that. Never saw them all fully healthy from that long stretch period of time. And again, so talk to the player, right? Like the events with Verlander and Scherzer. If the player finds out and going a different direction, there's no between, there's no middle of the road. Figure out if there's clear. Team decide to hold on. Like we have anything else, Steven Kwan.